Wow, I spilled taco stuff all over my shirt.
We just went live, by the way.
No way.
Welcome back to the OCA Podcast. That's the Open Chest Anime Podcast. I am RHYS753. Tonight we have our honorable host who is absent. But
Mr. Cheese Nipples AC. I'm Don Joe Boagi, and with us is the Canadian.
It's the elusive Footnum, who's back after like X amount of time.
Yeah.
All right, pickups.
Oh, okay. I better get started before my intro. Oh,
who wants to
go. Okay.
Me?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I have a backlog. So we got Those Who Hunt Elves upgrade to standard def. It saves space in the collection, that's why. Then we got the dub upgrade for Snafu. I watched episode 1 just to get a taste for the dub, and I really wanted to rewatch the whole thing, but I knew season 3 was coming out, so I should wait until that gets dub and marathon it. Then, because this was on sale, I got Sankareya Undying Love, but this is the uncut edition because I exclusively have broadcast editions. And then from the UK land, I got a really damaged Amazon box from them. And this was the item that got damaged. Dragon Ball Z movie collection. And I don't know if you can see it that well, but that corner got nice and smashed. But the value was so good because you're getting all this crap, like all the movies before Battle of the Gods and the Trunks Bardock specials, Blu-ray, for like, it was only £30 or something on sale. So I'm like, damn, I have to get this. Then this came yesterday, actually. It was one of the backlogged for Sentai on one of the things. Vampire Hunter D. Because apparently they'll separately ship this for no additional cost instead of waiting. And then I also got Rosario Vampire upgrade because it went on sale for like $20. And then it was out of stock. And I hated myself for not upgrading to it. And then it came back in stock. So I'm like, okay, I'll get this before it goes out of print. For reals this time. And then for limited edition news, I got Hetalia, the 10th anniversary re-release edition, and I got both of them on the inside. Now, my only complaint is that you can see they have a booklet inside of the slipcases, so you can't like buy just one part with the art box and then slap your others in there. But I'll say that this gives you a significant amount of spaces saved because it's going to be, what, 6 seasons and a movie. So essentially 7 spaces worth in this small amount.
That's only half of it, though, isn't it? That there's another box?
No, I got both of them.
The one had a filler box. Okay, I gotcha.
Right. This one is double size, but you know, you can't stuff your old releases in there or anything, which sucks in a way, but it kind of makes sense. I just think the stupid slipcase thing makes it so much harder to access your DVD conveniently because you have to pull it out and make sure, oh, the booklet fell out, so I gotta rearrange it and not break the booklet while I'm at it. So, and actually, I'll just go to Sentai first. Save best for last. We got, for DVDs, we got Magical Play. All of these are pretty much just because they were really cheap and I didn't have them. Gun Parade March, because I thought, screw it, I won't get the 10, I'll just get the cheap version. Hatsukoi Limited, not a limited edition, in case you weren't aware. Uta, whatever. This thing isn't listed on Right Stuff, I don't think. Uta Kata.
That's a pretty dark series there.
Well, I'm glad I got it before it was no longer in print. Happiness, which has a very fan service back with all these undressed slaves, but that's the typical Sentai for you. And then for Blu-rays, we got Joshi Raku. Some of these were just like, they were so... Did I just break this now? It's got a nice corner that's just been crushed in, and paper too. That's a shame. I mean, the price is right. Then I got Kase-san in the Morning Glories, which looks like a Yuri that isn't just Yuri. How do I put it? year eight, I guess you could say. And then this is a bit of a cuckening. I got Afro Samurai, the complete murder session. But
Oh,
as
no
you-
slipcase.
as you can see, there's no slipcase, but the
That
price
sucks.
was right. But I mean, it saves me one space,
Yeah.
if that's anything. But
What'd you pay for that?
only like $50. I mean,
Oh.
technically, that's a bit more than if I bought the two things separately. But you
A
know,
bit
that's a
more?
rare
That's
release.
That's like 4 times as much.
Yeah, so I'm like, whatever. Now,
Okay.
we got Royal Space Force of Onemise, or whatever it's pronounced. But the thing is, I don't know why this was re-released, because it doesn't have like an additional 5.1 track or updated, and like
They
maybe it
include-
does have updated masters,
Didn't they
but
include more trailers?
that would be a really lame reason to re-release it.
I know.
Then we got initialed the theatrical collection. You know, it's all 3 movies. I didn't buy a single one of the new movies, so just get them all in one go for reduced price. Then we got Ebby 10 because, you know, I've never had this show and it's just been wanting to be bought because it's like, look at me, I'm fan service. Then we got BPS Battle Programmer Shirase. This is a AIC show. I think I was only made aware of it when I was just looking at what has AIC made, and it seemed like it's such an obscure show that I'd never heard of, and it's cool that it got licensed.
We
And we
covered
got
that like
re.
5
What was
times.
that?
We covered that like article-wise 5 times.
That's
Continue.
fine.
Continue.
Well, now I finally have it, is what I'm saying.
There
So
you
then we got Recon, which I don't know what this is. I might have watched one episode before. We got Psychic Detective Yakumo. And then he is Master, the SD Blu-ray version. I didn't realize that was a 12-episode series. I thought it was like Indian Summer. There was like only 2 or 3 episodes.
3 episodes.
Then we got
Passier.
Yumeiro Patisserie.
Yeah.
Patisserie. I don't know. I'm seeing it backwards. This is like 63 episodes, so that's kind of cool that I only paid $10 US. And then we got the double of Student Council's Discretion. I didn't exclusively buy this, but I was more obligated to buy it because I was trying to watch it on High Dive just to be like, you know, I've seen the show around so much, but what is it even like? What is it? And the video quality looked so bad that I'm like, this can't be the right quality. This must be like outdated Anime Network quality or something. But even on the Blu-rays, they look terrible because I guess it wasn't made in native HD. But it says 1080p on the box. Maybe season 2 looks better. So then we got from UK land, Neko Monogatari Black, because that was the one that was not included in the Monogatari second season UK edition price, which is nice that it came with an art box like I was hoping. And it has everything that the US version has, so that's good. And yeah, so I have all of that, including the first Bakemonogatari and Nisa Monogatari, so I can watch all up to that point until I need the movies for whatever it's called, Monogatari. And then probably my favorite pick of the bunch. Look at this, guys. I got When They Cry. But what were you saying? I thought you already had that. But it's Blu-ray. I got from the UK because it was on sale, and I'm like, I'd hate myself if this one of print and I didn't have it. And oh my god, it looks so good being the right height, like Blu-ray height next to all the other Blu-rays, and maintaining the pink art box style because it future-proofs that good old pink When They Cry box. Okay, I'm done my pickups. My backlog of pickups.
Hold on. We weren't supposed to jump into pickups, but I wanted to make sure you could because of
Backlog
internet.
reason.
We were going to jump into pickups or try to, just to get it out of the way.
Yeah, but I have stuff that needs to be talked about. So real quick, I realized something. So here. Get out of here. This is why I nicknamed you Reese. So I had spent a day trying to reconsolidate my collection, and while doing that, I rewatched some of the old podcasts. One specific one from. Hold on. One specific one. Don't worry, I got rid of the taco from before peak. Now, peak season is kind of a blur. I completely forgot that I said that I would not charge patrons during the 2 weeks that I would be away. And I forgot because we had podcasts still happen just without me here. But that wasn't the agreement. And I want to make sure if anybody out there was a patron and would like me to, I would be more than happy to refund the whole shebang for those 2 weeks or that month or whatever, because you didn't get what was promised, which was the podcast as you know it, right? So let me know if anybody had a problem with that and would like me to. I would be happy to do it. No big deal at all. Number one. And number two, I also noticed while rewatching a podcast that the week after I said, first of all, let's acknowledge Reese's. Okay.
I hope that white stuff is not what I think it is.
Is that your jizz mask?
I was going to say it's like a messed up looking polar bear.
He visited Studio Jizzly recently. Give him a break.
With Dunce written in Comic Sans or Comic Sans.
Comic Sans, it seems like.
God.
All right, so I was going to acknowledge that the podcast after I asked Reese I asked him to, quote, stop raping that robot, that you changed your avatar to the scene I talked about from Futurama.
Yeah.
And that never got acknowledged. I didn't notice it until after the podcast. So anyway, so there's that. So let's go through this real quick. Obviously, thank you guys for being here. Like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you want to support the podcast, you can do so through the Patreon. You can support the Anime Collector channel outside the podcast stuff through the Anime Collector Patreon. These are both in the description. There's also stealthweave.com where we have, or I should say I have, amazing, one-of-a-kind, won't find it anywhere else merchandise from your favorite shows that you can peruse on your own time because we got shit to do. All right, so if you guys wanted to pick us, I'll let you continue now. I was actually frantically looking for my pickup because it's relevant to what we watched. They sent me the PAL version, even though the listing was for Region 1. And I can't find it. Am I the only one who watched the live action one? Augie, you watched it, right?
I watched it. I just finished it. I guess the time travel just took it.
Did anybody else watch it?
Nope.
I've seen.
Okay.
Well, what is it? Oh, the live action of Girl Who Left Through Time. No.
Yeah,
Sorta.
which is completely different.
Yeah.
From the anime, like not even same characters.
There's only two scenes that are similar.
Is it because it
as my
took place
wife-
from the actual novel?
Well, they were both adapted from the novel, right? So
No, I thought the anime was a sequel to the novel because her aunt was like the original Girl Who Leapt Through Time or something.
I have no idea. I have no friggin' idea. So anyway, if that's the case, it would make sense because then this would be the one who grows into. It's weird. It's so weird. You have to see it anyway. The back of the box. First of all, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Completely inappropriate title for that movie.
Yeah.
My wife called it The Girl Who Fell Frantically Through a Acid Trip Wormhole or something like that, because that's what it was. That's what she does. She just falls through it. She doesn't jump like in the movie in the anime where she jumps through it. But on the back of the box, I'm kicking myself because I can't find the movie. I have it and I wanted to show you guys just because it was really funny. On the back of the box, it says something like, because the thing is that there's a plot point in this movie where their memories get erased. Like they just erase people's memories. And it says, memories may fade, but the feeling never ends, or something like the feeling lasts forever. It's like really weird.
Technically, that's what happened at the end.
Yeah,
Like,
but it was oddly like
called
sensual in the way they phrased it. Anyway, all right. So who wants to continue with pickups? Augie, I assume you.
Oh, I'll gladly do it.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
There you are.
So got a lot. So FDDNM mentioned this before, but he mentioned it on Volume 1 on DVD, or supposedly had it, but in this case, I got all of it on VHS. So we got Mobile Suit Gundam, the movie 1, English dub, with movie 2, yep, English dubbed, and movie 3, English dubbed. What's the big deal about these dubbed movies? It does not pay true homage to Gundam. They call it something else in these.
Really, even though they've got it written on the front as Gundam?
Yeah, this is not a faithful dub. There's a reason why you even see it on. I could be wrong on this, but I believe on the Nozumi re-releases, they still don't have the English dub on it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they didn't have it on the Blu-ray
Yeah,
The English dub is on the DVDs from
of
Bandai.
Bandai.
And I'm pretty sure they call them Gundam in that.
Now this is like movies 1 through 3.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
that's all they
talking about the show. Sorry, I'm talking about the show.
Yeah, the show got a good dub.
Lee Shonsky is confirming for
Okay.
you because he's a fan of Gundam and probably has seen them.
So
All right.
along with I got more. Along with this, for Bandai Entertainment, I got Kurokami 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, and 6. Completed on.
Why is the DVD set only 4 and the Blu-rays are 6?
I don't know.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Mhm.
I guess this was a time when Blu-ray couldn't keep up with the data capacity of DVD. That's the
Because
only.
that existed.
So newer stuff. We got Fuka. Been wanting to see this since it's like a sort of future sequel to Suzuka,
Yep.
but with band instruments. So we have Endro, the complete collection. And next we have everyone's favorite Zombieland Saga. All of its holographic glory.
I canceled it because the price did not go down for pre-order.
That sucks.
Up next
I mean,
we have
when you pre-order from Right Stuff, don't you get like a 10% off anyway?
Well, I don't.
something like that. Up next
Maybe
is
it's only if you
Time
have
Travel
gotten
Girl, Mari and Waka. This one is if you like electrical history, you'll love this one. And it does
Never
deal
got
with
a Blu-ray.
time travel. Up next, I finally got the one I was missing out of this collection, Boy and the Beast.
That looks like it's synced up perfectly with where they were on the picture.
Oh yeah. Up next is My First Love, or My Love Mom. First Love Mom.
No, there's no my.
There's no My. This one was a complete sub series. Up next
So
we have
Green Line 743 says, "Damn it! This podcast was supposed to be at 4:30." So let me address. I have to set the podcast after when it's actually going to be, because if I don't, if I'm late to the time when we want to do it, which is for you 4:00, the multi-stream to Facebook will get deleted if it's like 10 minutes late or something like that. So I have to put it past when we're going to try to be, so that in case we're late for one reason or another, we don't have a problem. So just so you know, whenever it says it's going to be like 4:30 for you, try to be here a half hour at least early, just FYI. But you didn't mean it. You didn't really miss much. Okay. So we're still going on the stuff here. So go back to
Steve,
pickups.
can you mute your side? That way we don't hear the rapping.
Is it super loud?
Yes.
I just muted him.
Okay. So up next we have Eureka 7 High Evolution 1. The second one's now pre-orderable. Then we have 3 leaves, 3 colors. Ooh. Followed by the Morose
Mononoke.
Yes. The last directive of Vic Mignogna.
I think that one's season 1, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, season 1.
So that one still has Vic Mignogna in it.
Up next is Planetarian, OVA and movie.
Oh, I gotta get that because it has a different colored band.
Then up next we got Darling in the Franxx 1, then 2. So I too have this series now. Followed by Joker Game.
That's a good show.
Ooh, good. How's the pace? I've been worried about that.
It's episodic.
Okay.
Like I watched it week to week, and then I marathon through it when I got it and watched it with the dub. Fantastic. Just watching it, burning it through, because you'd be able to keep track of characters that way instead of watching it week to week. Because all the characters have basically the same face. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah. Then once before I said I had ReZero Part 1. Now I finally got ReZero Part 2. And I like how they covered the snubby guy's face.
Question: does Part 1 have the replaced Blu-ray discs or whatever?
Ooh.
Good question. I'm not sure.
You might have to contact information about that one.
Yeah. Well, I would contact if it. Yeah.
John
Wisonsky says,
Frank Set 1 LE doesn't have a slipcover on the Blu-ray case. What the fuck?
Yeah.
don't they usually not when they come with the LE?
Well, they used to normally not, but then recently they started actually including slipcases. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, that was before the boat.
Like, I think the Steins Gate Zero had one in the LE.
So got a few more.
I would have to look. Hold on. I'll just say that's I don't think that's better, because as FDDNM was talking about, when you have the slipcover and you go to try to pull out the DVD, you have to be so careful that your fingernail doesn't rip the slipcover.
No. I was saying if there's
You were talking about like the art book falling out and all. I'm saying that I'm adding on to your point.
Okay.
The end. Okay, back to Augie.
All right. So up next we have Legends of Galactic Heroes.
That is
Season
still
1.
going to be the thumbnail, by the way.
I don't know what that is. What that?
What?
Yeah, you made the cockmongler face.
What?
Oh.
The cockmongler.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
4chan memes that only
I don't
cool people
care
know.
about 4chan. So right here we have season 1. Season 2 is supposed to be a series of movies. So I look forward to it.
I'm going to meet you, AC.
Thank you. Up next we have Logic, technically season 2 with from Luck and Logic. So I guess it's a spinoff.
What's with the purging of slipcases? Because the sticker's on
I don't know.
shrink wrap.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
That is a good question, cause Citrus is the same way.
Oof. I remember that one did have a slipcover at one point.
Yeah.
I remembered that Legend of the Galactic Heroes did because I have it.
Then
I'm going to pause.
Sun and the Morning Glories.
I'm going to pause it. Can you guys hear the train?
Yes.
Yep.
The train?
Okay. I'm going to mute.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Here you go. Nobody knows this meme?
No.
I don't like memes.
I mean, the name
You are
sounds
a meme.
interesting.
All right. Back to you.
This one. Ooh. So I'm going to go manga, then back to DVD. briefly, and I'll be done. So I finally got this series, Karakuri Odete. I've been curious about this one for a while. And yes, I got it because Right Stuff had it for like $15 for the whole set. And finally, I got Doctor Strange. And with that, we
The
have
best anime.
oh yes, and
Best
with that
anime.
we have more sequels as Doctor Strange and the Quest for the Silver Rainbow,
Oh god.
and Doctor Strange and the Quest for the Magic Pussy. This series gets stranger and stranger as the back of these shows creative ways of making custard. So I don't know what the management's been up to in this series.
I think that needs to be the screenshot, AC.
Ta-da! I'm done. Oh yeah, we're watching and we're doing The Girl Who Let Through Time, this podcast, with the live action something.
Just taquito. Reese, do you have any pickups?
I don't have any pickups.
I have one
All right,
pickup
then.
left. It's for Lashonsky. Lashonsky,
Oh.
pay attention. I got this as a gift. Crater Who
Ew.
Behemoth. Anyone who plays Magic should probably know that card.
Yeah, that's an
All right.
old
Right on.
one, but
All right, that's it.
I feel like there's an
I'm
insight.
surprised nobody knows that meme.
We weren't around as long as you were.
AC, most of the people on this
Augie
podcast,
has been.
except for me, hasn't sit down and watched old school Tanami.
All right, we're gonna need to get me off of my overtime soon so that Reese can be banned from using the ticker. All right, so here we go. Vic Mignogna court case. Oh, I see you didn't add any of the.
I did refresh.
Oh yeah. I left my computer open on that page. Thank you. All right, thank you so much. I was about to choke a bitch. All right. So, this is the perfect joke ever to the court. This is what the court said. This is the transcript for the hearing on the request for more money. Said, so this is Chup speaking when it says the court. If I give you zero money in attorney's fees, are you going to make Miss Rial pay you $282,000 for basically, I don't know, 6 months of a lawsuit? The witness, which is Lemoyne, yes. And this is why they're asking for more money. I do not want that. I just barely finished the one I had. Thank you for bringing it in here, but I am full.
I'll be on the podcast.
No, get out of here, scamp.
What was he handing you anyway?
Another taquito.
Taquitos.
So in this hearing, by the way, let's just say I wouldn't be surprised if they settle because of how badly it went. Lemoyne went on a rant about Nick Rekieta that Chup is like, why should I give a shit about this YouTube nonsense? And Lemoyne was like so triggered. And he's like, you want to know why I watched it? He's like, well, I didn't ask you that, but okay, why'd you watch it? Right? It's just like the transcript is fucking hilariously bad for Lemoyne. Anyway, so we will not stick on that for too long. Now, I saw this and I thought, more KyoAni news. And then I read the headline. I'm like, wait a second. Kyoto. Okay, so I just want to say, if his name pops up in here, I'm just gonna read it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to lift that just because I can't on the spot censor it. I don't know. Maybe I can. We'll see. Just because we were trying not to give him attention. But now he's got a nurse that he has a soft spot for who's giving him attention. So maybe he won't even care. So the KyoAni arsonist develops a soft spot for nurse treating him at hospital. People in Japan are concerned for the nurse who's become the object of a killer's affections. Oh, God. Oh, off to an amazing start with this article. I love the way they write over there. It's been almost 6 months since 41-year-old KyoAni arsonist pushed a hand cart with canisters of gasoline into the Kyoto Fushimi Ward Anime Studio of Kyoto Animation, dousing the foyer and employees in the area with petrol before igniting it, setting off a blaze that destroyed the 3-story building, killing 36 people and injuring an additional 33. One of the people who survived the incident was the arsonist himself, who, after setting himself on fire while igniting the blaze, attempted to flee the scene but was apprehended by police approximately 100 meters, or 328 feet, away from the building after being pursued by staff. However, the arsonist is still yet to be formally arrested. This is way easier to censor on the spot than I thought. Is still yet to be formally arrested as police officers are unable to execute the warrant for his arrest until doctors deem him physically fit to withstand incarceration while he awaits trial. I hope he's at least like handcuffed to the bed like in the movies. Maybe that's why he's got a soft spot for this nurse.
I don't think he
They
can.
got him chained up like they got him handcuffed like Two-Face in The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Like in any number of other scenes where somebody has handcuffed to a hospital bed. That's like most people would think about.
I'm thinking that one scene.
Oh yeah, no,
from
no.
Cowboy
Hold on. RHYS.
Yeah,
that's a great point because the arsonist is probably also charred half to death, like Two-Face in The Dark Knight.
You missed the article, or I think we did cover an article where over 90% of his body is charred.
Yeah. I think I wasn't here for that one. That was that first week of peak when I was gone, when you guys did one. But yes, that was one that I told you guys to cover or shared with you and said you could cover. Really loudly.
Well, how far does this Nightingale syndrome go?
All right. 1 second. While his survival seems bitterly unfair in light of the many lives taken by him following his heinous crime, the arsonist's recovery is vital to his arrest and prosecution, which will help to deliver justice for the victims and their families. Medical staff say it's surprising he's still alive at all, given that the third-degree burns covering 90% of his body required a number of self-cultured skin grafts, so unprecedented that the procedures used will be presented at a medical conference later this year. That's kind of interesting. I mean, if anything, one thing he's contributed to society is that they've had an opportunity to develop a new skin grafting method, right? While the arsonist is still unable to stand, he is able to sit in a wheelchair and eat and speak with assistance following initial treatment at Kindai University Hospital in Osaka. The extent of his recovery may be due in part. So first of all, why name drop the hospital? You're just going to have somebody out there go and try to whack him.
Yeah.
Or, like those weird girls that are into serial killers. Just start mobbing him.
I mean, yeah.
No, shit.
He should be under police protection.
I was going to make another reference to Batman. No one cared who I was until I had 90 degrees or 90% burns on my body. Anyway, that was a terrible pain. Sorry. I apologize for you having to hear that. The extent of his recovery may be due in part to a nurse at the hospital, as a report from weekly magazine Shukan Bunshun reveals that the killer developed a soft spot for one of the nurses tending to him during his physical rehabilitation. According to the report, the arsonist was always in good spirits and displayed a positive attitude towards physical rehabilitation when the nurse was on duty. However, now that the arsonist has been moved to an undisclosed hospital in Kyoto, the nurse is no longer tending to him, and his demeanor is said to have changed noticeably. Now he's said to be grumpy and selfish. God, no.
A serial killer being grumpy and selfish?
Who killed so many people over some stupid like pedantic bullshit.
Right now he's just a hospital inpatient, so doesn't seem just. But.
See what's funny
You're cut
is that like if he doesn't do the what?
Try speaking now.
Oh, good. It's not my
Why
internet.
can't I click? For some reason can you guys hear me? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Hello. What the fuck?
Oh, yes.
Can I get a
We
yes
got
or
one.
no?
We got 140 PH,
Yes.
140 AC.
Okay. Shall I leave and come back?
I just looked over and my face was on the screen. Putting me on the spot, guys.
I was like, perfect. We'll be right back. And he's just like perfectly still.
He's paralyzed in fear.
FDDNM was like the deer in headlights.
Looks like someone from Full House.
Okay. All right. Enough with that shit. Get that off there. I gotta read this article. If I ever sit down to edit a podcast clip and I have to like painstakingly remove that, I'm gonna be so upset. I mean, the joke is funny for a second, like we can do it. Like I don't want to say that we can't, but when it comes to like actually reading an article, just try to keep it. You know, like, if I'm actually reading, you know,
Sorry.
You
know
would
what?
have to read up some of that.
Don't worry about it, Reese. Use it to your heart's content. Okay. Okay. So let me just get through this.
God.
Seriously, especially because you're going to die by the end of this article from that cough. So just use it as much as you need. Okay. So, okay. Now he's said to be grumpy and selfish, reluctant to do any rehabilitation work, saying there's no need for him to regain his speech as he will be given the death penalty in the end anyway. Yes. Wise words, man. People in Japan were quick to express their concern for the nurse who became the object of the killer's affections. But now that she is no longer in his presence, the arsonist's physical rehabilitation is said to have taken a turn for the worse. This is said to be a blow to the medical team charged with the task of getting him well enough to stand on his own. I should have said stand his trial, which will ultimately lead to his arrest and sentencing. Doctors now fear the arrest may be years away, which would mean a long and tortuous wait for the victims and their families to receive any sense of justice and closure following the heartless attack. I mean, this is the most bizarre turn of events I think that we could have expected for this whole thing. And now all of a sudden the KyoAni news is starting to get interesting.
Oh.
So Brad, throughout the entire thing, you were saying they had a soft spot for that nurse, but it sounded to me like he had a hard spot for her.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it.
That's all I had to say.
All right. I'm going to make you guys watch while I eat this donut hole.
And that one turns out that was his plan the entire time to do all this and just be treated by hot nurses for the rest of his life.
Yep.
Yeah, frosting with that.
No, there's no frosting.
Yeah.
There's cream. It's cream on the inside, though.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. So
Oh, it's Cinnabon Bites.
Yeah, I don't think I'm actually going to read this because I kind of don't care. But MangaDex temporarily downfalling, host removing site as a result of legal pressure. So the bottom line is that more scanlation and all that stuff is getting, like, it's in the crosshairs. So if you're like us and you buy your anime, congratulations. You don't get affected by this. Yeah, but I'm just saying when they go after Kiss Anime and all those places, it'll be like not a big deal. All right. So I shared this because I thought that this would be a great thing for you to discuss, Reese.
I don't want.
If I wasn't able to, okay. But you could at least explain the controversy, yeah?
I have to open up the article. Hang on.
Is it literally like 1 pixel wide on how bad the effect is that you can't read it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Fake Grand Order, Moonlight Lost Room, censors Emiya by making him look less black, which I think is very funny because he goes from like a cobalt or like an onyx black to something that looks a lot like blackface. I was going to do like a Photoshop. Oh, apparently there's some like gropey stuff up there. Okay. I was going to do a Photoshop where I was going to take their version and I was going to rotate the guns gangster style.
How did they make him less black by making him more black?
Right?
Well, the darker one is what it was, and they made him lighter.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. That's it.
Apparently, they explained why he's black.
Do you want to eat the donut holes?
The amount of his magic he used.
Here.
Magic and stuff.
I would like you to eat a taquito.
I ate all the taquitos you gave me, except for that one that you
I put 3 extra, and every single.
Thank you. All right, continue.
So they explained it, and they gave a definite explanation of why Shiro turned black, and you overusing magic and stuff. It makes sense, and apparently in the show, but no, I'm gonna unmute AC. I
So
guess
that is Shiro.
Show, or is this the game?
This 2 host with control thing is like so not working out because as soon as I go to unmute myself, Reese mutes me again as he goes to unmute me.
You're arguing over donut holes.
Get out of here. My wife is mad at me for not giving her a donut.
We don't want to hear that. That is private life.
In Canada, they're called Timbits.
Okay. So, yes, Reese, you are correct. The plot is that Emiya has used too much magic and turned black because he's been cursed with dark skin by the Mormon god Elohim. Right? That's how that worked, right?
Mormon.
I don't know. I guess
did we not watch that shit on the podcast that one day?
I don't recall.
where I brought up that Mormon explanation video.
Well,
And
was
we
I
watched-
here that day?
No, that was the one. It was just recent. But I did show
I
that
can't
to
remember.
you guys, right? It was like we're okay. All right. Well, that joke is lost on everybody who wasn't here for that hilarious moment. Also, what the heck's going on down here?
Maybe something from Doctor Strange.
No, it's another thing of Emiya in blackface, so it's even funnier. What the fuck?
Is it less or more
Hey.
racist if they're Asian?
Well, I think I was just gonna say that now what this was an attempt so that now black people can cosplay Emiya and Asians / Caucasians can do it too.
I see
That was the
racist
real
as-
strategy here.
I mean, they changed it because they think it's racist. I think it's racist that they changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it looks worse. Like he's so dark that he's clearly quote unquote black, as in not African, literal black, like the
coal.
characters in MFKZ.
Like
He
coal
got
black.
the same
Like
color as in the Cyborg 008.
Yeah. But making him lighter,
Anyway.
I mean, it feels racist.
Well, the thing is that they made him lighter and they made his lips lighter too.
Yeah. And
Like you could
they
have left
kept it- they
the
kept the
goth
sha-
lips,
they kept the shadows like on his abs. They kept that the same darkness.
the same darkness,
The shadows should
but
be
they
lighter.
changed the shadows in his pec.
They didn't change the shadows in his chest. It's like the shadows
Also,
should be
what
lighter.
is going on over here? Is there a hand coming out the side of his head? Is this hair?
That might be dreadlocks flaying in the wind.
Yeah, it's probably hair.
Oh, that's race.
That's not racist. That's a hairstyle.
I don't see it in that picture.
I find this to be hilarious, and I also just don't care about the series. Anyway, let's jump into it, guys. Oh, thank you, Otakaso, for having to send me that. Even though I saw it, I saw it right here, AC equals boomer. Yep. I'll take boomer
Yep.
over millennial.
Is AC a wee boomer?
We a boomer. I like that. Put that on a shirt. All right. All right. Here we go. So we got some interesting news. Comic-Cat blood drive reportedly sees smaller turnout. God damn it with this ad. A smaller turnout after reducing reliance on anime titty posters. So you guys recall that we had that one we talked about with Uzaki-chan?
Yep.
Mhm.
Where they apparently were sexist or something or other for having that.
Yeah.
So following the controversy surrounding the Japanese Red
All
Cross
right.
blood drive that included a widespread poster of a very busty and alluring Uzaki-chan, the Comic-Cat blood drive at Comic Market 97 decided to go with a more low-key approach for the event. And as a result, not as many people turned out. I mean, maybe. It could also be that they didn't have clear files to give away. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Japanese blog Hachima Draft captured some of the tweets from the Japanese section of Twitter discussing the event. The initial tweets only mentioned that the pictures and promotional art were decidedly different this time around to be more, quote, considerate. A few tweets did point out that there were still anime girls on posters featured throughout the donation drive, but the images were only present once you got to the drive. Some tried to argue that since the posters were still present, only pinned to the side of the donation drive buses, that nothing had changed and that the people complaining about it were just cooking up noise. Others rightfully retorted that the posters seemed, quote, small. Well, I just had a really weird thought. It's like, what if they, in America, you know how you draw blood in America, like through the arm?
Yeah.
What if they just go through the dick in Japan?
Oh god. Well, I guess that's sexist then.
Well, the nurses would look for the veins there.
Isn't Japan like full of fudas though? Isn't that like their thing?
I guess so. Yeah.
I've had to have blood drawn through my knuckle on my right hand before.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Just because they
Did you say a
couldn't.
knuckle?
Yeah, the vein in my knuckle, just because I couldn't get the ones in my arms.
Okay. To me,
You're talking about the one on the vein on the back of your hand where they do like the IV.
Yeah, on the back of the hand,
Okay. See, I thought you were talking about like sticking a needle through your knuckle to get to blood veins underneath it.
what kind of sound would it make? Would it be a loud creak or would it be like a snap? But
okay. It might just scream, ouch, you're hurting me. All right. On December 31st, 2019, however, Twitter user TK Takamura took the naysayers and deflectors to task, making a lengthy thread pointing out that not only were the posters much smaller and less busty than the Uzaki-chan posters that caused such an uproar before, but that it looked as if the donation organizers was folding under pressure to avoid controversy caused by feminist agitators. Takamura pointed out that the feminists creating such a stir resulted in the blood drive going with a far less aggressive promotional campaign and in result less turnout for people willing to donate blood. I love this. It's like literally companies have figured out how to get things done. And then, like, to quote this article, feminists come in and shame them for it.
You can't do that.
Right. And then literally they're like, well, shit, we can't do it. And then it's like, everything falls apart.
That's almost literally worse than what it was before.
Yeah.
Oh, good ASMR there.
Reese.
hey, Brad, I know you already went on a rant before, but could we briefly talk about ANN's top alphabet soup?
Oh, okay. I know exactly what alphabet soup refers to. The next article is an ANN article. We'll see if it's in the side headline. We can talk about it. All right.
Oh, that was a super chat, by the way.
Yes, it was. Thank you for that, Greenline 743. Also, I'm kind of done with this article because I feel like we already know what it's going to say.
Yeah.
Agreed? All right, let's jump into this. Philippines, Jesus, Reese. Is your spoon right next to the mic?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Chewing the chili too loud.
I'm trying to scrape out the cheese from the bottom of my chili bowl. I'll mute it for a
All right, thank you. Philippines GMA Network reveals live-action Voltus 5 Legacy series.
Sweet.
What about 1 through 4?
Oh my gosh. Okay. For the record, my wife wasn't actually mad at me. She just wanted a donut. Just in case it wasn't clear. My poor wife.
Denying her don't. Denying
She
her
wants
spotlight.
wants to be on the next podcast, by the way, audience. Let me know if you want to have that happen again. Okay, so let me see if our alphabet soup is here. For the love of God, no, it's not.
I'm glad that this is happening because I know there's been, especially for the people that I know that are from Mexico, really like this show.
Yeah. It's popular in South America and Italy.
Yeah. Anime is just popular in Italy and France.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing, though. It doesn't. It looks passable. Oh, great, wonderful!
That looks very passable.
It's amazing that I just so happened to have downloaded that last night, and we could watch it. But then the uploader might not make it available in our country for you guys to watch the podcast. So maybe we shouldn't. All right, so okay, yeah, it says the video below is region locked and viewable only in the Philippines. That's funny. The one Angry Gamer wasn't. Shall we go there?
Yes.
Although the one on... Actually, I don't need to go there because I sent it here. The one Angry Gamer also happened to think it was a Voltron series and had to change it to Voltus V. Voltus 5, as it is called.
I can see with the art style how they can get that confused, but if you look at the costumes, they should feel silly.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys some of the amazing CGI. So incredible. Or as we should call it, so passable. Yeah, so basically, did you guys ever see Sky Captain: The World of Tomorrow?
Bits and pieces.
Okay, I never saw it, but apparently that movie, the whole thing is that literally everything except for the actors was CGI, right? Everything was filmed on a green screen. That's what this looks like it's going to be. Just so you know. So hopefully it's good, but who knows?
Voltus 5.
Yes, not Voltron. All right, so let's pull up this alphabet. I don't have a B. Hold on, let me get that from Facebook. This is literally how I type, guys.
Kind of surprising you didn't go to the article.
Well, I know that Facebook has a B.
Okay.
So a follow-up on my discussion about Premiere. Anime News Network wrote an article titled Best LGBTQ plus Characters of 2019. Now, I'm sure that some of these characters are part of LGBT.
No.
But,
Two of these are...
hello? Yeah, two of these are not like the other. I mean, it just screams, obviously...
Yeah.
I don't know about this one.
Waver is not gay.
No.
Not homosexual whatsoever.
Yeah, my reading of Waver as gay is probably the most controversial pick on the list. Bullshit! Most controversial? Bullshit! All right. So once again, I'll just say,
anyway?
What?
Who wrote this?
Who cares? Michelle Liu.
By the way, there's an ANN article reviewing the Black Butler Aniplex set, and it was done by Lindsay Loveridge, and I was thinking, of course it was, because she neglected to say, yeah, and it'll cost you an arm and a leg to get this nice set. It was just like, yeah, overall it's a really good set. It's like, sure.
It's a really
but
good
you-
set that I got for free because I work for Anime News Network.
Yeah.
Those cosplayers really love Aniplex. Let's watch more Aniplex, even though we don't buy any of it.
So anyway, yeah. So this is what Green Line 743 was talking about with the alphabet soup. So yeah. Once again, Now I'm gonna watch this movie again when I edit the first impressions, and I'm gonna pay real close attention to the not homosexual undertones that there definitely weren't. Although I will say, I brought this up in the first impressions, which I'm just going to give away right now because I don't even know if I'll finish making that video. I thought that Leo over here was a girl in all of the promotional stuff, and then when I'm watching the movie, it has an obvious guy's voice.
Johnny Young Bosch.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's a guy. And then for some reason, as it keeps going on, I'm like, oh no, yeah, that's a guy. Like the whole time, I'm thinking, I keep forgetting that it's a guy because the poster very much looks like the character design for the thing on the poster I brought up looks like who's the villain character in Kill la Kill? The girl with the long blue hair.
Oh,
Satsuki.
Yeah, Satsuki. It looks like looks a lot like that character in terms of design. Anyway, so yeah, that's our rant about this. I do more, but I don't want to read the whole thing, and I want to get through this podcast because I have work.
Everyone seems to talk about it as if it's the second coming of Christ when it looks like exactly. It just
so
looks
like story wise, they this is what I said in the first impressions. It's the first feature length movie from Studio Trigger. First of all, it's not the first movie from Studio Trigger. But second of all, they don't know how to make a fucking movie. Because
what you said is a bunch of small movies essentially.
Yeah, like rising action, falling action, rising action, falling action. You're like, is this over yet? Like, now, like effect wise, and like music wise, and like animation wise, yeah, it's pretty. It's freaking great. It's really awesome to watch. But the story's not that interesting.
So it's kind of
definitely a ripoff of Fire Force. Kind of, but like I said, it's definitely a ripoff of Fire Force, just like he was, the creator was worried about or whatever, talking about. Anyway,
I'm gonna step out for a minute. I'm gonna go run my bowl back to the kitchen. Be back in a couple minutes.
Okay. What a good boy. All right. Somali and the Forest Spirit episode 1 debuts on Crunchyroll a week ahead of Japan.
Cool.
Whatever the hell this is. It looks like Android 18 and Android 16 crossed with what do you call that?
Goblin Slayer.
No, not Goblin Slayer. Shit, hold on. Ancient Magus Bride.
I have a feeling this one has an environmental message.
Rifle is Beautiful's final episode postponed. The official Rifle is Beautiful website said the final episode of the competitive shooting anime will now be broadcast on January 18th instead of January the 5th. The reason was given for the short notice change of schedule is to only mention production issues. So yeah.
Which is strange. Strange that they said that because it's more like laser tag for that show, but
okay. Let's not nitpick every little article. Crunchyroll adds Anohana, the flower we saw that day, English dub.
Just in time for us to have that watch club in whenever it was.
Yeah. Also, future Stealth Weave shirt probably.
Oh.
Although I don't think I can. I mean, I can make a shirt that looks exactly like this, but it'll cost you an arm and a leg. So I don't know that it'll be all the way down here. I don't know. We'll see what I can do. Because like if you look at it here, it's like a whole different shirt. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's all about picking the right image for the thumbnail for the product. Funimation to stream a certain scientific railgun season 3 anime's English dub. So yeah,
sweet.
All stuff we expected and didn't need to have an entire article written about.
That's true.
Squishy Black Clover anime spinoff hits Crunchyroll today.
Hooray. You're going to need to get a 5 parts plus box set for that too.
What if this is supposed to fit in that open spot on the first box set?
That would actually be... Well, no, it's not, because they have the art box. You'd have to get like a 0.5 sized Blu-ray case to fit in there if you want to fit in the specials.
Nino Kuni anime film coming west via Netflix on January 16th.
About time.
Netflix adds 32 more episodes of the 1986 Saint Seiya anime with new English dub and subtitles.
Sweet. So
New English dub. Because it's Netflix. And they have to ruin everything.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Speaking of Netflix and ruining everything, Ultraman surpasses Evangelion as 2019's most watched anime on Netflix. What's that?
Anime?
What? Gen Fukunaga was right? Yes. One Punch Man, Dr. Stone, and the Seven Deadly Sins are also in the top 10. Dr. Stone is on Netflix already?
Huh.
Neon Genesis Evangelion? What's up?
I mean, to be fair, most people that wanted to watch Evangelion probably already saw it and didn't have a reason to rewatch it, especially with the controversy with the dub and all that crap.
Yeah. Neon Genesis Evangelion was big news on Netflix this year, but it still wasn't the #1 anime on the platform for 2019. The numbers are in from Netflix Japan, and as it happens, the CG animated Ultraman series took the #1 spot with the streaming release of Evangelion in second place. This is just for Netflix Japan. They weren't even watching the shitty American dub.
Well, Funimation couldn't have really helped it in Japan, do you think?
No, but it's not about, well, okay, but the point is that what Gen Fukunaga said is that the stuff goes up there without much fanfare. Now, I fully expect that Japan is going to, watch it. I'm saying that it being the second, Reese, why? Why are you writing stuff in my account still? That's going on my Facebook, dude. All right. Lishansky said, who wants to be on the next podcast? My wife said she wanted to be on the next podcast, like she was in a couple podcasts ago. Also, Dumbledore is gay, though?
No.
Okay. Was that written into the book, or was that her?
No.
I think that was retconning, and then in the whatever beasts one, they gave him
Fantastic
a boyfriend
Beasts.
or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Except
So,
I don't know
I'm
if they actually followed anything through.
I shared this before. I thought it was so funny. There was a tweet that somebody made from like a parody account of what's her name, J.K. Rowling, and it's like this character's gay and that character's gay. Also, Harry's dad once took a 3-way from men in a back alley, like all that stuff, right?
Well, apparently, in Fantastic Beasts, the final boss, so to say, is Hitler. For real, apparently. Because she's the most lazy writer, she has to pick a character that already has pre-established hate in the world. Yeah. So Wizard Hitler, that sounds pretty awesome.
She might as well have just had it be the devil.
Yeah.
Devil Hitler.
Oh, jeez.
Like devil man powers on Hitler.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, considering Eva creator Hideaki Anno is a massive Ultraman fan, we can't imagine he's too upset. One Punch Man came in third, with Kengan Ashura and Seven Seeds rounding out the top 5. Right on. Finishing out the top 10 were Attack on Titans. Okay, so Dr. Stone is on Netflix Japan. That's why.
That's what I was figuring.
Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. And Ari Fureta, from Commonplace to World's Strongest. As for Japan's most watched YouTube offerings overall, anime was scant in the top 10. However, Gintama 2, Rules Are Made to Be Broken, came in at number 4, with Ultraman and Evangelion at number 6 and number 8, respectively. Boo, people don't like YouTube in Japan for their anime. All right. So I saw this, and I thought it might be interesting. Decade in Review, the most watched anime of the decade, meaning between 2010 and 2019.
Is this going to be like Billboard's freaking top rock songs of the decade?
Yeah.
No. It's more like the Pornhub thing we talked about previously.
What was streamed the most in the last decade?
Yeah. So in terms of series, so apparently Attack on Titan was in Canada, but the U.S. and Mexico was Naruto, and apparently is Black Clover even on here? Is that like down here? No anime in this place. In is this Chile? Cuba? That's what I meant. Thank you. No anime in Cuba.
They don't get Cuba. Castro doesn't like it.
South America is the Dragon Ball Super, where they have all the things I was talking about with the wrestling or the boxing posters, but with the Dragon Ball stuff. So My Hero Academia is not that old, right? It's not 10 years old, but it's like beating out, other shows that are much longer, like Naruto Shippuden, or have been.
I mean, it's only
longer.
a year, came out a year after Attack on Titan.
Something
All right, no, it was the year of Attack on Titan, wasn't it?
Attack on Titan was like 2014, I think.
No, that was 2013.
Or 13. Okay.
Well, My Hero Academia definitely did not come out the same year as Attack on Titan,
Like,
because there's a big resurgence.
26. I think My Hero Academia came out like 2016 or something. That was for season 1.
Something like that. Okay. Anyway, here's the Middle East. Now, this is quite funny, I think. Africa, Asia.
Wasn't there some that had Boruto?
Yeah. Well, Boruto Next Generations is right here, right? So here's the thing.
Weird.
Is that Kazakhstan? Here's the thing. Japan. Fucking Japan. Ruby.
Oh, that hurts.
Welcome
Actually,
to the world of Shippuden.
To be fair, it's Crunchyroll, which has like 0 shows in Japan.
In Japan, I figured that might be the case. Like literally the only thing worth watching.
But still, that's
Japan.
kind of disgusting. Ruby is even anime.
If you thought North America and the Middle East had a lot of Naruto, Asia has both beat in one unbroken continental swath. Shippuden stretches from Kazakhstan in the northwest, east through India, Nepal, and China, and then down Southeast Asia through Malaysia, the Philippines, Indonesia, and countless others. The global influence of our favorite ninja really can't be overstated, and that's true for the region closest to the series' country of origin, which itself is rather interesting, but we'll get to that. There are, of course, some holdouts. The contiguous trio of Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan favored Black Clover, the former two, and Boruto, the latter. So I guess Uzbekistan liked Boruto for some reason. They probably didn't get Crunchyroll until Shippuden was already over.
That makes sense.
Now we need to explain the elephant in the room. Japan, the country that invented and is majorly the origin point of most anime, watched Ruby, an American-made series, more than anything else. While a big part of this is the fact that most anime viewing in Japan doesn't happen on Crunchyroll. I mean, yeah, because they watch it on TV, and also Crunchyroll probably doesn't have most of the shows. The viewership of Ruby in Japan is actually quite impressive. Anime is becoming a truly global industry and fandom. And the fact that the country that invented anime has embraced a foreign animated series is a pretty beautiful indication of this. What did Canepa write this article? Also, moment of silence for Simply G and her entire continent.
Oh yeah,
that's ablaze. I'm pretty sure she's doing okay. Last I heard, but holy hell, they arrested something like 200 people on suspicion of creating brush fires, literally arson, creating the fires. They're like, well, you know what? I've been saying it for years. When there's a spider in the house, you burn that bitch down. We got a spider problem in this country / continent. Anyway, sorry, that was a really bad joke. But seriously, in all seriousness, prayers for Simply G and other people in Australia that we don't know by name.
And Max Mofo.
Yes, also Max Mofo, who we know by his true given birth name, Maximus Motherfucker.
That's on his birth certificate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only reason he's allowed to use that name on YouTube is he proved it was legal, right? Right, anyway, so Antarctica only watches Hunter x Hunter.
I can write.
Okay.
That's the only
Right.
one that makes sense to me. I mean, that came out back in 2011. That has
That's the
long.
last time they had internet.
That has longevity behind it because that came out in 2011. They had the entire decade to get those numbers.
Did I tell you guys about that time when Fitbit released the motion data of all the people that use Fitbits? And like a whole bunch of government secret bases were like found out because people were wearing Fitbits in them, not knowing that their GPS data was being tracked. And there's one on Antarctica where there's like, you know, a straight fucking line to an area, and then like, you know, various movements are in like a facility in Antarctica.
Oh my god.
That's fine.
Anyway, yeah, they had to scrub all that data afterward. All right, so theater release news. I went with the Sankaku article because I totally read all the articles for all these things and didn't just go with the pictures, but actually that's exactly what I did. So Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway teaser promising spectacular animation. And I got to say, just by the screenshots, this looks like it came straight out of the original series.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It's they got some great animation in here, as well as some stuff that looks like it came out of the original series.
I guess.
And it's coming out July 23rd.
Being
I
Sunrise,
bet you it's going to be an Anime Expo. So the first Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway movie will premiere in Japan on July 23rd, 2020.
what about Gundam 00 sequel?
Who?
The sequel to Gundam 00 that they announced?
Triple O.
Triple O.
Japan box office. My Hero Academia's second film surpasses 1.1 billion yen in 3 weeks. So when I added this to the doc, like while I was on break today, I was kind of like I meant to say, hey, could we figure out how much the previous one did? But I figured it would just be in the article here. According to the latest box office report in Japan, My Hero Academia, the movie Heroes Rising, the second feature film in the My Hero Academia anime franchise, had earned 1.1 billion yen in 3 weeks of release, which was 88.7% of the first 3 week gross of the. Okay, so in the first week, it earned 88.7% of the first 3 weeks of the first movie, Two Heroes. All right. Also, not weird at all. Definitely expected news. Hatsune Miku is coming to sing at Coachella.
Oh yeah, that.
It's Coachella.
Coachella is a music festival in the desert of California that I pass by every single time I go from California to Arizona or back.
Think
So is it
yearly
like honoring-
Woodstock.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So we're gonna have Rage Against the Machine.
Mm.
Is Big Bang like the K-pop band?
I'm not
So-
a K-pop person.
Rage Against the Machine and Hatsune Miku and a bunch of other people that I don't recognize.
It's nice that Rage
With
is
a-
back.
Yeah, didn't what's his name die?
No, you're thinking of Audio Slave.
No.
Yes, which is the guy who sings for Rage Against the
No,
Machine.
no, no, no.
Oh, yeah.
No,
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 you're right.
no.
Audio
You're right.
Slave is
Soundgarden.
everyone from Rage
Soundgarden.
except for the
Right.
vocalist.
Okay, because that's the Soundgarden lead singer, right?
Yeah, / Audio Slave, which
Audio
is
Slave?
Rage Against
Okay.
the Machine with Soundgarden lead singer.
Okay, so basically, since Audio Slave is basically kaput, they just went back to just being Rage. Is that what's going
I
on?
didn't
Well,
think- no.
the official
Oh.
statement is that they never actually broke up. It's that they're against they're all about protesting and like against society and
Sure.
whatever. They're like,
Yeah.
all these bands, they just keep putting out, and then they listen to their labels, and then they become garbage. We do what we want. We were still a band this whole time. It's just now we're gonna come back when we're ready, or whatever, something like that. Which I think is pretty funny.
I see Danny Elfman is going to be
What?
Tripping
Danny
acid there.
Danny Elfman was, I think, a lead singer or guitarist from an actual band. But then he also he just went off and did his own thing and became like he did the score for a bunch of movies, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a
Batman.
composer.
Right? Didn't
Yeah.
Danny Elfman do like Spider-Man's soundtrack or something?
I think he
Yeah.
did Pee-wee's Big Adventure as his first movie.
That's a bad start. I seriously do not recognize any of these bands.
Who is Frank Ocean?
I'm sure I've heard of that before, but I don't know. Chicano Batman is going to be there.
Ew.
Nice.
Youngblood, Dave. The guy just is Dave. Okay. All right. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing anything besides Rage Against the Machine and Hatsune Miku. Anyway,
Yep.
Imagine paying just to go see those two different acts.
oh man, that would be brutal. Isn't it in the summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the summer, in the desert, and seeing Rage Against the Machine and Hatsune Miku, and then having to sit through all this other bullshit to get from one to the other. That sounds awful.
Well, I'm sure you could just like leave and then come back whenever they're ready
Yeah.
for the bands you like.
No, because it's April 10th and 17th. And then Saturday, April 11th and 18th, because they do like a 2-weekend thing. So on Friday, 10th and 17th, it's going to be Rage Against the Machine, Hatsune Miku, and all these other people, right?
Like maybe like one or two songs each, and then that's it. Is that or they have
Something
multiple?
like that.
Oh my
I mean,
god,
how
that's-
many songs could you possibly play before? Like, if you did 2
But,
songs each
do
for
they have-
this many people,
Do they have multiple venues, or is it just one stage?
I have no idea. I've never
Well,
gone.
I was figuring that there was like a billion different stages because isn't the Coachella Valley supposed to be
Yeah.
massive?
I think they do. What's in the Indio, like, it is in club in India, Empire Polo Club in India. So it's at like a club, right? I think there's at least 3 stages though. But the thing is that wouldn't that just sound like shit?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're
Yeah.
kind of far apart. This is a bad idea. People just go there to get high. Anyway.
basically.
Right. I need a new mouse so badly, but I'm worried that I'm going to buy a new version of the same mouse I have, and it's going to be the laptop that's causing the shitty problem rather than the mouse. So Tatsunoko's classic comedy Hakushon Daimao to get new TV anime in spring 2020.
Oh yeah, that's the one that got replaced with Zero in
AI.
Capcom versus Tatsunoko.
I knew that Otakuso was going to come out with this. He wants everyone to know he's blazing it up 420. Everybody,
enjoy himself.
Otakuso's blazing it up 420. There's your attention.
The whole reason that he wasn't included in that game was there was an episode of Power Rangers where Bulk was pointing at the TV laughing because this was apparently his favorite show, and they showed a clip of this show. Because of that, the license was tied in with the Saban license under Disney at the time.
So, Hakushon Daimao to get new TV anime in spring 2020, and in summer 2020 get canceled for blackface.
Isn't this the one that they used an AI voice for the guy who died?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Big Lips.
Pop Team Epic director Jun Aoki helms TV anime Gallant Dinosaur in spring 2020.
I have a feeling it's going to be season 3 of
Pop Team Epic. Yeah. Because for those of you who don't remember, what he does for the manga, the guy who creates the Pop Team Epic manga, is he says, I'm ending the manga, and he starts a whole new manga with new characters and everything. And about 4 pages in, it just turns back into Pop Team Epic.
Yeah.
And apparently it never gets old. Pochi Ida's The Elder Sister Like One manga to get OVA adaptation. So I'm just curious what the actual fucking title of this is supposed to mean. The Elder Sister Like One. Okay. So now I gotta watch this show just to know. The Elder Sister Like One with big boobs, apparently.
Plot.
Studio Ghibli posts New Year's greeting with mention of second film in production.
Wow.
So, in Japan, they do this thing called Fukobukura or something like that. It's a like every New Year's, companies do like a customer appreciation thing, and they send out like postcards, and if you go to the location, you get like gift bags and stuff. Those are the Fukobukura or whatever it's called. They thank you for supporting them in the past year, and they basically give you a heads up of what they're doing in the coming years, which is totally weird that we're only now, after all these years of doing the podcast, talking about this. Like, it's been, there are a million friggin' articles on Store News 24 about which company has what in their grab bags, their gift bags or whatever. But anyway, so they sent this out with drawings by Hayao Miyazaki. It says, Studio Ghibli hopes that, as the rat zodiac is known as a symbol of both prosperity and fertility, 2020 will be the year Japan's, quote, stagnating society will be renewed. While the upcoming anime film How Do You Live from Hayao Miyazaki was already announced and is said to be 15% done, this is the first time another film from the legendary anime studio has been spoken about. It's not known if this film is animated, a live-action film of which Studio Ghibli has done in the past, a feature-length film, or if it is a short film for the Studio Ghibli Museum in Mitaka, Tokyo. How Do You Live by Hayao Miyazaki was previously set to be released before the 2020 Olympic Games, but has no announced date as of yet. And considering it's only 15% done, I don't think it's going to happen. Also, what the hell happened to my... this is all one highlight. Why didn't it get everything? That's so annoying. All right. Peter Grill in The Philosopher's Time conjures up release date with first TV anime visual. So we talked about this briefly in the past about a guy who is so fucking badass that like he wins some... what is the thing again? Upon winning a fighting tournament and being crowned the world's strongest fighter, Peter Grill discovers a downside to his renowned fame. Newfound fame, rather. Women of all species, from ogres to elves, are scrambling over each other for his seed to ensure that they have the strongest babies possible. Poor Peter just wants to settle down with his lovey-dovey fiancée, but he'll have to outmatch, outwit, and outrun a harem of very determined monster girls to do so. So according to JT Master, who I guess has read the light novel or whatever, apparently he bangs every one of them instead of his fiancée, so that kind of puts a damper on how funny this story sounds like it could be. But yeah, the anime has a thing that we are looking at here, promotional image, and the announced date is July 2020, so probably will be at Anime Expo. I'm planning it already.
The plot sounds very similar to Magicano.
By the way, his name's Peter.
Yeah.
I don't like anime that have these really English names, even if the creator intends that, because Please Twins, the main character in the dub is called Mike, and I'm like,
Mike, yeah.
Is this a localization? And in the Japanese, it's like Maiku, so Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
It's like
Mike.
Well, great. This sounds really weird because it's like made in Japan or whatever. But like,
so,
there isn't anything wrong with it.
According to JT Master, the show has a bunch of Western style, like Western pop culture references. So his name, Peter Grill, is a reference to Peter Krill from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Just so you know. Anyway, would you like to take it away, FDDNM?
Renner's back. There's apparently a new When They Cry on the horizon. It says it's a new adaptation from Higurashi. And on my anime list, it says like Shin. What is it called? Shin anime? I don't know, something like that. So every single thing that's had Shin in the title has been like a redo or something like that. Like what? Shin Godzilla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A reboot?
Shin Evangelion
means new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I mean,
the
I'd be
important
down
thing-
for a reboot of the whole show.
it's Studio Passion, right?
Passione.
Passione. Sorry.
I don't know if that's the actual pronunciation. That's what I think in my head.
That's what
But
we're going to call it now.
It's sad to see that.
Passion.
It's sad to see that Dean isn't continuing the When They Cry series because that studio gets a lot of flack, and that was something that they were good.
I have
Is
pretty.
But
Dean
also-
still a thing?
Yeah, they made freaking Konosuba.
Oh.
But also, this artwork here looks way better than the stuff Dean did, so maybe it's okay.
Well, the face
it
looks
looks-
a bit
yeah,
different,
the face
but this
looks-
is
okay.
a weird angle.
Yeah, so let me
So-
rephrase that. Artistically, the anatomy is more dynamic and interesting,
Well, actually,
but
in
the murderous
Ray, was it?
bloody face doesn't quite work compared to how it did in the Dean one.
In
So we'll just have to see.
in When They Cry Ray, I think that's when they had like their optimal, like because it was in HD and all that crap. So
Uh-huh.
that was like the optimal era. I just hope they don't go like they did with that one show that they cameoed in. I don't know, because that one looked off. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
so
Nice one.
so it's good timing that I got my art box in celebration of this coming eventually, and hopefully they dub it. Ooh. It would be nice if they did 50 more episodes.
I mean, yeah. Winter 2020 TV anime Plunderer confirmed to run for 2 cours with 24 episodes. This guy is aiming to have a sword longer than Sephiroth. I don't know anything else about it.
Not digging the flapper hat.
What about Kamina's sword?
Well, that's actually what I was going to say. I literally was thinking Kamina, but as I was saying it, I'm like, it actually is closer to Sephiroth. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. It actually kind of does feel more like Kamina, though, because it doesn't look like it's actually supposed to be a super long sword. It just, in this one drawing, looks ridiculous. Anyway. Oh, I'm so sorry, FDDNM. We got some bad news for you after this next article. Well, also, Steins Gate Zero manga ends in February. So I'm surprised at this. And I have to imagine that this is not what the anime was based on, because the anime is based on the game, right?
I think this is supposed to be like a prequel, like an in-between.
Yeah.
Huh.
Manga prequel to the game launched in August 2017. I can't imagine what it's going to cover unless it's going to be the sad days of what's the main character's name?
The chronology is so weird at this point because you'd watch Steins Gate. No, you'd read this, you'd watch Steins Gate Zero, then you'd watch Steins Gate or something.
Hoin Kyoma, thank you. It was on the tip of my
Okabe?
tongue. Okabe. Hoin Kyoma. I had to listen in my head. Yeah, I had to do that. I had to get. That's exactly what I had to do. I had to do that in my head to get it out. All right. Otaka says y'all weak for not watching sub-dead anime.
Sub-dead anime.
I watch sub. I just
obviously he
choose
meant
to have a
sub.
choice.
So
Right,
wait, is
so-
this the tragedy
hold on.
that? Welcome
Yes,
to
this
ball-
is the tragedy.
Why?
We need
Welcome to the
That's my
ballroom,
neck.
going back on hiatus.
This is the tragedy right here.
Don't worry,
This
Otaka
right
said
here.
neither have
He
I.
hasn't seen Stien's Gate.
We need. I think. How do I block this user?
Shin Project. I just saw
Okay.
that.
So, welcome to the ballroom manga goes back on hiatus. Going on indefinite hiatus. Our favorite word on this podcast.
Yes.
indefinite, which could literally mean
Any amount of time.
any amount of time. Could be tomorrow, could be next week, could be forever. The manga most recently returned from hiatus on July 5th. The manga went on hiatus in December 2017 due to Takeuchi's health. So how do people in Japan all have such bad health?
Because they're Japanese and they are in the industry. That's
They-
like the two
no.
requirements you need to have terrible health.
I think
They
that
don't
I think
focus on
that there's like a
nutrition when they eat.
no. The homogeneity of the country is killing it because they need to have more diverse gene pools to defeat bad health, right? You know, like
Maybe.
illness and whatnot.
It could also be all the mercury in the fish that they eat.
They need
It
to
sure
take-
could. That's a good thought.
Are you saying they need to take in more gaijin husbanders?
I thought you were going to say they need some more gaijin dick. They need to
Yeah.
start eating it dick fillet. Yeah. So this is interesting news. First new Death Note manga chapter in 12 years to be published in February's Jump SQ. Is it what's SQ?
Sequel?
Square.
Square?
Square?
Square.
Shonen Quarterly.
I think
all right.
it's square.
I hope it covers more of the death gods.
I hope.
Well,
it's-
you're in luck because apparently it's going to cover Nier and Ryuk, according to the image here.
Why don't they just make a sequel to when insert character here is a death god?
It's a one shot.
Just like a Bakuman got that one shot chapter in Shonen Jump that one time, or whatever.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Keep
It'd be
it
amazing
all-
if they just. Oh, I joked with my wife. I'm like, hey Julie, I read the title. First new Death Note manga chapter in 12 years to be published, and she's like, "What are they gonna do?" And I said, "What if they follow the story of Light Turner
Oh,
from the Netflix movie?"
It's a shame. We'll probably
Only,
just localize over here.
the only shame is it follows Nier. I never really liked him. Maybe
There's
No one
nothing
did.
wrong with Nier.
it doesn't do anything.
Well, he's just not as good as L.
It's not mellow either. No, well,
Yeah, everybody loves Mello and his flamboyant outfits. All right. Okay. Mega Man X Dive is coming to mobile devices in Q1 of 2020. That is all I'm going to say.
okay.
Utowaru Rumono Trilogy heads to
Utawara
Steam in
Romano?
2020. Utowaru Rumono.
All right.
Augie, you say it. Just kidding. So yeah, it's coming to Steam. You guys can play it. Wow, that girl's they're all out there. I'm pretty sure they're wrapped at YouTube. No, that is a wrap. Okay. Whew. It's white. It's white, YouTube. It's a white thing. You can see that it goes down here. It's white. She's covered. Thank you for your concern, YouTube. We're not a channel for kids. By the way, did you guys know that
That started yesterday.
what?
I got an
the
email too.
Kappa thing started yesterday. So if you have a channel that's for kids, no notification bell, basically nothing. You can't do shit.
No live chat.
No live chat. Yeah, no comments of
money.
any
Wow.
kind.
Well,
E. Castro says, damn, the author is just forever sick. That's quite sad for her. Her and every other shonen author ever
Hmm.
for Shonen Magazine or whatever. Syconia When They Cry Phase 2 tearfully delayed. Visual novel developer's 7th expansion had a bit of unfortunate news to share with us on New Year's Day as the next episode of Syconia When They Cry series will sadly be delayed.
I didn't realize
they
it was
said the
already started, but okay.
Well, it's the game. The game's been out for a long time now, like a couple months at least.
Well, yeah, I didn't know it came out.
Oh.
So that's good news.
Maybe
for
it's
me.
because it only came out in Japan.
No. I thought we did an
I
article
saw-
saying that it was doing a simultaneous rele's in both
The
Japan
Aristic-
and
Well, the
English.
aristocrat of anime YouTube, who I follow on Twitter, was playing it and tweeting, like live tweeting his gameplay, constantly, so I got to see a lot about it. The recent New Year's update from 07th expansion states that the game won't make the release window of May 2020 as was announced back in October 2019. The news, however, also teased a positive announcement coming on January 6th, which might be the new Higurashi thing that we just covered. The new launch date for Phase 2 is now at the end of 2020. Anyway, also, this is a great article. Silent Hill monster designer is a core team member on a new game. Masahiro Ito tweeted a belated New Year to everyone recently and also teased a new project. According to his message, he's working as a core member, illustrating a new game, which he hopes won't be canceled. Which I thought was hilarious. So this is the thing he shared. Ito designed monsters and backgrounds for the original Silent Hill and moved on to work as the director on Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. He also worked as a monster designer on Nightcry and as a creature designer on Metal Gear Survive. Sony unveils PlayStation 5 logo. It resembles the PlayStation 4 logo.
Holy shit.
Who would have guessed?
Whoa, wait a minute. They trademarked the PS4 logo, but now the PlayStation logo and the PS5 is not like trademarked, guys.
Make sure
Do you know
it's
what this means? Like I just unplugged my computer.
That's what it means? Oh my gosh.
shirts, hats, watches, shoes, socks.
I bet you anything
Underway.
I'd get sued by Sony before any other company. All right. Nippon Ichi Software establishes new SystemSoft beta subsidiary. Game developer and publisher Nippon Ichi Software is taking the new year as an opportunity to branch out some more. Its latest move is the establishment of a new subsidiary called SystemSoft Beta, which officially kicked off operations on January 1st. The subsidiary, which will serve as a successor to SystemSoft Alpha, known for Daisen Ryaku series of strategy games, or the Daisen Ryaku series of strategy games, was founded on December 3rd, 2019, and NIS's Koichi Kitazuma has taken the position as head and director. NIS said it is currently working on developing a business with the goal of sharing their work around the world and a vision of entertainment for all. With the successor of SystemSoft Alpha, the company is determined to provide expanded sales and improved corporate value. Wow. Was this a pitch to your shareholders?
Sound like someone got promoted in the company.
AC freeze.
Future.
I heard him a little bit. Yep, and that's a perfect freeze right there. We know it.
All right, I gotta put this in so far so you guys can actually see it.
Japan man turns his house into a stage from Donkey Kong. His room and design absolutely bananas. If you're going to browse through the fruit aisle of your local supermarket and come across
Oh dear
a
God!
whole lot of bananas.
Stop.
Who?
We aren't reading that.
Oh.
You the stupid thing. This guy is you something.
AC's lagging pretty hard.
He's getting footnomed very hard.
Just 1 minute.
For a second there, I was going bananas.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this real quick. Japanese man turns his house into a stage from Donkey Kong. All right, I have no idea why. This guy decided to hang bananas from his house, and this is literally all he did, and this is what they wrote an article about.
Play the video.
It's... Oh, you guys can't see it?
No.
No.
Why
I
can't you
can
guys see
see
it?
the bananas.
I
We
a
see
video.
we see
Yeah, but
the
you don't see
video
them
and
moving.
we see the window, but nothing's going on.
Yeah.
I went to all that trouble. That's weird. Did it hear me? Could you guys hear me?
Yep.
Kinda.
Hello. Oh, the media can. Oh my God!
What? What's wrong?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
Salmon.
media may contain sensitive material. This is sensitive material, guys.
The bananas, they're very phallic.
Yeah. Can you guys see it now?
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Click to exit full screen.
Why is it not letting me full screen? Okay, you guys have to watch it real tiny then.
Oh.
Here you
I
go.
don't need to see it moving. I get it.
They wrote an
Isn't
article about
It's
this.
supposed to like bounce back side to side.
And we decide to look at it.
Yeah, because it was funny in theory, but not
That's
in
it?
practice.
That's it.
This is literally it. So this is. Hold on. I
Wow.
was gonna grab one.
That's kind of lame.
Okay.
I gotta tell you.
Yes, you can see the string attached to it, right? Okay. Back to this one. I hung up bananas I got from the supermarket, and my house turned into a Donkey Kong stage. So these are the Twitter users full of praise. I thought the bunch of bananas in the middle was real, and the rest of the bananas were CGI, but it turns out they were all real. If you put a crying baby underneath, it would be soothed and stop crying. Or maybe it'd have a nightmare about bananas.
Uh-oh.
At first, I assumed this was some sort of Donkey Kong AR app, but it's real. I adore that the middle bunch of bananas isn't spinning. So somebody else took the video and literally just put this over it. Watch, you guys can't hear it, but it's the Donkey Kong theme. All right. Anyway, I don't know why I shared this. It was funnier last night when I was dead tired. All right. But that was it. Okay, so I need you. Whoops. Fuck.
You need us. Whoops.
What'd you do? What'd you do?
So,
What did you do?
no. Hold on. No. I didn't do anything. I clicked close on the tab, which brought up the other window of Safari. I thought I closed the StreamYard. I couldn't host StreamYard in Safari though. So that whole thing I was talking about yesterday about how when I was closing a tab, it was closing all of Brave. Hasn't been an issue yet. Okay, so I need to go grab some water. My throat is very dry. Reese, would you like to cover the release news and go over the right stuff and all that, or
Hold on.
would
I gotta-
anybody like to do
It'll
that?
take him that long to get his water.
I
Well,
don't
I'm
know.
just.
Let me open up another window and get
I'm going
to
to put
the.
them in the private chat here, so you guys can go to the dock and pull it
Here,
out.
I got it. I'm pulling it up from the screen.
Okay, Reese has got it. Everybody, calm down. Reese has it.
I got it. Hold on.
So I was thinking, it was really funny that the second I walked in and turned on the computer and like joined the stream you guys started, and I had that taco stuff on my shirt from trying to scarf down all that food on my way home. But I wonder, because StreamYard has done this thing where when it goes live, it actually doesn't go live on YouTube until like 3 seconds later. So
Yeah.
I wonder if nobody actually saw that. It's on the Facebook one for sure. Like that always gets from the beginning. But anyway,
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So,
There you go. I will be back in a minute. I'm going to talk to my wife and grab some water.
all right. So, first off, we got Inazuma 11 Aries kickoff. I think Augie shared this. I want to say we've talked about this before, but that may just been we were talking about it on Twitter. Like, this is only 8 episodes and it's dub only.
It's 8 episodes
Dub only.
DVD, and it's a long show, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So
It's the same people who's releasing Yokai Watch as well.
probably, because that's the exact same way they're
Yeah,
releasing it.
Circle-
It's like these
like-
kids companies don't want their show to actually be successful sales-wise.
And Circle is releasing it.
Well, if you don't share and talk about it, people won't know to pre-order it.
And it's only $7.
Well, they probably, I mean, yeah, but I'd rather them release a $50 thing with,
Yeah.
you know,
The
25 episodes or whatever it is.
8 episode, dub only, DVD only. Yeah.
Soccer anime. Well,
Soccer.
Well,
Okay.
Inazuma 11 has like never come over here
Yeah.
in anime, so this is the first time we get it, and it's lackluster.
No. It comes out in February 4th.
yeah. I don't know how it's lackluster, but
It's lackluster because we get like a small chunk of it, and it's only on DVD and
Jesus.
double.
One, so
They BTFO'd you harder than Justin Sudeikis did.
What does BTFO mean again?
what the hell are you talking?
Back to the fuck off.
Yeah.
What?
They're being brutal to you for sharing that.
Okay.
What's this about?
Oh
This is
shit!
Graham
This
Bell.
was supposed to be the Reddit post, not the. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'll pull it up. I got my water.
234 gram bellum. I wanted to go at least
Grand
300.
Bellum.
Yeah.
Gram bellum.
Grand Blam.
Bellum.
Gram bellum.
Grand Blam.
Blam.
They wrote Bellum.
Yeah.
Did they spell it wrong?
The translation
I'm pretty sure
is
the katakana said bedroom.
BELLUM.
Yeah, it says Gu Ra N Be Ru Mu.
Whatever.
So
Yeah.
it shouldn't be Blam. I mean, it could be, but it should be Grand Bell. Anyway, so I'm sharing for this part. So basically, Grand Bell sold 234 Blu-rays. That's it. That's all it sold. But wait, what's this? Not surprising considering the show's last. Wait, hold on. This isn't it. Okay. Sai, even cheaply done isekai shows like Isekai Cheap Magician, 428 Blu-rays, and Maho-sama Retry, 302, has sold more. Not to mention Aru Ferretta, which sold 3,200, and then it gets a second season immediately. Araburu, 2Q for record, and Fire Force, 107, has less, which is really impressive. That's so low. But at least both came out pretty popular during the summer season in Japan. Grand Belm, though, was completely left in the dust. A cruel fate for my AOTY anime of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
That must be 2019. Anyway, so I'm curious, where are they getting this data?
Yeah. I've always wondered that too. That and how much was it sold for? That.
Well, if it's in Japan, then that can actually like buy a house.
Yeah. Was it sold for 800? Was it sold for 300?
Hold on. I copied and pasted the podcast doc. So now my N key is pasting the entire podcast doc.
Yeah,
All right. I asked them where they're getting the data. We'll know by next podcast, maybe.
Okay, so a brief bit about the soccer anime. I know, not this particular one, but I know either Whistle or Captain Tsubasa was licensed by Viz, but I don't think they ever released any.
Is
Of
it
the anime.
Captain Tsubasa? I think they got the manga.
Hold
in
on.
the beginning.
I'm sorry. OCA Podcast shirt, Captain Tsubasa with a bus playing soccer, right? That's the thing now.
That would sell highly in.
No, it won't sell a single shirt, but it'll be a funny joke for one time. Nobody's going to buy Captain Tsubasa, but we have to populate the site with something. All right, so let me just make sure that adult only is turned off.
Only one thing is new. And
Not
it's
that it
gonna be-
matters, because it's Ip Man 4. Who even cares?
Yep.
I mean, I kind of want to own it, but all right.
So
So,
it's today.
Seton Academy Blu-ray third volume to come with unaired hot spring themed episode.
Yay!
Woo!
Boo! What's wrong with you?
I don't think that was a boo.
Oh.
I think he was just making a noise like a fanfare.
Boo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm not logged in. Guys, do you want to look at Ip Man? Oh, it comes in 4K. Hold up.
Woo!
Ip Man 4 4K.
The finale.
Is this where Bruce Lee comes back to life in it? Oh, maybe. Is that supposed to be Bruce Lee? It kind of looks like him, but it also kind of doesn't look anything like him. All All right. Anyway, so that's it. That's it for release news. Glad that it took so long while I was just grabbing that water. All right. Sorry, guys. I've been up all day. So today, ICQA stood for Inventory Collecting Quests and Adventures, because I stood on a cart all day and went through every aisle and used like a giant stick and pulled stuff down that fell from other floors. And that's what I did with my whole day. It was extremely labor intensive, and my shoulders are killing me from holding a stick over my head all day for 10 hours straight. Anyway, now that I'm done stalling while those loaded, all right. Bring Nirvana to your toy shelf with Saint Youngmen Buddha mini statue.
Toy shelf.
Yeah.
Who has a toy shelf?
I don't know. So, has Mohammed showed up in this show yet? Because it's about time that that Japan learns the fear of Muslims. Didn't they invite? They had like 67 or 27 refugees admitted, and already like half of them were arrested for crimes within like a week of being there or something.
Wow.
Japan put an end to that. Buy at least one of these Vladimir Putin calendars from Russia to start your year off right.
I'm surprised how fit Putin is, considering his age. He still does karate.
Yeah, and he like rides bears into war.
It's a shame they don't have a picture of him riding that bear shirtless with machine guns and shit.
Who says they don't have that?
I don't see it yet. I mean,
there's 2 pictures of Trump in it. Oh, they got it in their actual like company bathroom. This is the thing. There was an article they did where there's a thing that makes noise to cover your pooping noises, and they bought like 20 of them and put them in the bathroom to see if they could. This one guy who has obnoxiously large poop sounds in their office, they tried to drown it out with like 20 of them or something. I just noticed they still have one in there. So, all right. Anyway, by the way, we never read the article about the leaking oil from your anus at the fish festival. So, if you have any interest, audience, let me know, and we'll get to that next podcast. Final Fantasy's Yoshitaka Amano goes high fashion with Vogue cover. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
You're welcome.
What's
You
the
saw
content?
it.
What's
You
the
had to see it.
contents of Vogue?
It's a fashion magazine.
Ah.
Okay. Okay. So as I told you, the Fukubukuro Lucky Bags, right? So Japanese store for adults, Lucky Bag provides everything you need to get lucky all by yourself. So just for the record, I haven't read this. I almost haven't read any of the articles that we're gonna look at. But you know, it was a busy week. What you talk about this podcast? What? What? Okay. Muhammad. I always thought it was funny that Muhammad has ham in it.
What?
Blatt. Right. Sika Blatt. Okay. Got him. Oh, is that what it means? Is that what BTFO means? Blown the fuck out?
Yeah, so
See, the
apparently
thing is
you educated me improperly.
I'm pretty sure.
See, the thing is
fuck off.
I just come to my own conclusion on things that make sense. Like for years, I thought SMH was so much hate.
So much hate.
And every single time you'll ever see that in context, you'll be like, yeah, that could work that way too, right? Every time you see it from now on. So anyway,
Fish oil,
Shake my head.
what you talk about this podcast, like, do you mean would I So
Fish
I'd
oil.
like to talk about it, but well, let's see how it goes. Okay, I'm really tired, and my feet are just screaming right now, standing in front of this desk. So
Get a sitting desk or a
no,
chair.
my wife doesn't like hitting her head underneath. I'm just kidding. That's not why I have the standing desk. She's gonna come in here and kill me for saying that.
And tonight he sleeps on the couch.
Good ASMR there.
I don't know why Reese did that. But I'm glad I had a really triumphant pose to give you. All right, multiple Tengas are just part of the high value package. As loyal Sora News 24 readers are well aware, Japan kicks off the new year with Lucky Bags, or Fuku Bukuro. I'm drinking Pellegrino. It's a sparkling water because it's the only water I have in my house. Sorry.
Can't get
Tucker
water
says
from
I'm
the
high and he's drinking. It's the only water I have in my house that was in the fridge, so it's cold. All right.
tap. You don't have ice?
No, I don't have ice. My rental doesn't have a working ice machine.
Mm.
Do you have a freezer?
I do, but
Ice cube tray?
Do you have running water?
yeah, I'm gonna spend like the 5.5 minutes it takes to do that instead of just grabbing the thing that I have available, so you guys don't have to wait on the podcast. Come on, guys.
Is the water filtered?
So just real quick, regarding the fish oil or aioli or whatever he's trying to say, no, fish oil. I'm so sorry, Tucker. I don't mean to be so rude today. So the fish oil thing. The reason I don't really want to talk about that, my wife says, you do have a better wife. Thank you. That's great to know. I'm not going to spend 5 minutes pouring a cup when I have a laptop right next to me when I'm going to be doing this. Apparently she didn't hear the other comment I made about why I don't use a sitting desk.
I think she's getting back at you for that.
All right. So anyway, God, where the fuck was I? Okay, so the reason I don't want to do the fish oil one is because that, I mean, I do want to cover that article. I just want to read it just for shits and giggles. But it's one of the articles where they write it in like a almost like a vlog style, you know, like they're just sort of taking you along for the ride and they're documenting it. And those just aren't usually it's like the one they did for the guy getting his hair cut by the guy who cuts hair with swords.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not a bad article, but it's not as funny as the normal articles. So I don't mind doing it. My wife says I so freaking did read the comments. Oh, she's telling I so freaking did read the comments is what she's telling me. See, I know how my wife talks. Thank you, Otaku. So that's not what she's saying. She's listening. Thanks for tattling on me.
She's going to find out anyway. She knows where you sleep. Where are you going to sleep tonight? So what do they get in these bags?
Japan kicks off New Year's with Lucky Bags, or Fuku Bukuro, as they're called in Japanese. These bundles of mystery items are offered by all sorts of prominent Japanese companies. God damn it. Are we going to get like a million comments I got to read? Okay, nobody said anything. All right. Otaku says, buy me Love Live then. Okay, I need to get like a... We need something. We need to talk to the guys at StreamYard about getting like a counter for funding, like where we can have it like tell people how much we're... like we're raising money for a cause for Otaku to get Love Live.
Well, right? I mean, you can probably
help us raise that $130.
You can probably do that on Streamlab. That thing you don't like to use.
Yeah. Well, considering I'm paying for StreamYard, I'm going to use it, and it's pretty darn good if I do say so myself. I'm quite happy.
I mean, when you don't use the alternatives, of course you feel like you got a good value.
Well, I mean, it has like the embedded comment thing where you click on the comment, it pops up. It's got the super chat colors and everything, just like YouTube. Anyway, back to this. All right. Oh, my wife. Okay. So my wife texted me. She said, I so freaking did read the comments because she left me a comment that says, I don't see it though. Oh, you know what? because you used the words. Okay, she sent me a text just now. It said, "I left you a comment saying I was going to kill you after you said that desk comment, but I don't see that comment because I think YouTube hid it because you said I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
So I think it's been censored by YouTube, so I don't see it. So I wouldn't have even known the death was coming. That's not cool, YouTube." All right. Anyway, back to the article here. These bundles of mystery items are offered by all sorts of prominent Japanese companies, and some of our favorite Fukubukuro we bought this year have rewarded us with ramen, beef bowls, and candy. Here's links to other articles where we covered Fukubukuro. But what about more carnal appetites? It turns out there's a Fukubukuro for those too. So, Lamtara.
It looks like Gamera.
Hamtaro. But Japan's Lamtara chain is primarily known as a store that sells secondhand DVDs and Blu-rays, but they also deal in CDs, plastic models, and all sorts of other fan-oriented items. We stopped by the Lamtara branch in Tokyo's Ueno neighborhood on January 1st, and sure enough, they had Fukubukuro. Priced at a New Year's appropriate $19, right at the front of the store. We picked one up and took it back to Store News 24 headquarters, where we opened it and discovered a Famicom, NES clone game console. Okay, a wallet with the Marvel logo. Oh man, it's
Hot.
So these like goodie bags in Japan are just as useless as the ones we get. Some disposable cooling sheets. 3 novelty pouches patterned after cup noodle lids. 3 of them. Yep. Because you need 3. And a bunch of capsule toy figures. Boy, they really got your $19, guys.
I want to know how that Marvel wall is supposed to help you get lucky.
No. So we're getting to that. Oh, my wife is watching The Witcher without me.
Okay.
I hope it sucks. However, way in the back of the store, Lamtara was selling a very different kind of Fukubukuro, also for $19. When we opened up this bag, we found my hentai grab bag video.
This is a better bag than
DVD, something to be censored beef stew again.
Blu-ray video for lonely grown-ups of the kind we can't show you without some liberal pixelating of the cover. Digging deeper into the bag, I'm pretty sure that is perfectly tame. She's wearing like Shima pan and a shirt, and I can see like the bow and everything. This looks like a Minecraft painting though. This maybe I could understand it being a little bit less, okay. Boy, they just took my entire style of censorship, except that I would have censored this a little bit too for my thing. But like where his hand is like perfectly clean up against it because they masked it out.
That hand is dirty.
Oh, you think that hand is dirty? I have indelible dirt in my hand from working so much. Soft hands. Yeah. Soft is like a cheese grater from working with cardboard all day. Okay, anyway, back to this. No more dirt hand competition. The adult videos kept coming until eventually we had 10 titillating titles to choose from for our viewing pleasure. But did they get Fake Agent Volume 31 is what I want to know. But Lamtara's generosity went beyond providing visual stimulation, as the Fukubukuro also contained a pair of Tenga masturbatory aids in the auspicious red and white color scheme used for Japanese New Year's decorations. Also, normal Tenga colors. And also a white one, apparently. Oh, so finally the bag contained 4 packets of lotion, which is especially thoughtful considering that winter is the driest season in Japan, and thus the one where hands are most likely to be rough and chapped. Also, with many Fukubukuro, we can't really say one way or another if this is a great deal. On the one hand, some of the Blu-rays were nearly 10 years old, and so they are past their days of commanding full retail prices. There's also the fact that the bag only provided 4 packets of lube for the 10 videos.
I can't believe they censored the thumb.
Oh yeah, they failed hardcore on that part. Forcing the purchasers to keep their excitement in check for at least 2.5 videos each time, or prioritize their favorite featured ladies. Versus Seed says, "Is that a censored soda bottle? I just came back." Boy, have you missed a lot.
You said never mind.
It was a joke. But on the other hand, you could also argue that 10 videos and the means to fully enjoy them for $19 is a steal, and further proof that Tenga is ready to help people start 2020 off with a bang. All right, so there's that article. Also, here's a cool one. Hirohiko Araki and Naoki Urasawa draw breathtaking posters for the 2020 Tokyo 2020 games. So yeah, I mean, can you guess who did this one?
Rocky.
Yeah. So this is the what do you call it? The Paralympics or whatever?
Paralympics?
Yeah, Paralympics.
Their feet are replaced with fucking springs. That's a cheating, right?
No, their legs
And
are
then Araki did this one, which is far less impressive. Like, I'm sorry, Urasawa, pardon. Araki did this spectacular, could be hung up in a museum, amazing work of art. And Urasawa was like, oh yeah, run. I'm ready for this. Ah! That's how I read it, at least, right? That's how it goes. All right. Anyway, also, Rurouni Kenshin manga author draws stunning key visual for the 25th anniversary exhibition. I love that nobody will acknowledge. First of all, this pose looks terrible, and his sword is like bent, like it's got an erection in a weird way.
He looks like he's hiding one. That's like his pose.
Trying to make it
Look at my dick. I wasn't looking at that little girl. I was thinking about something else. Yeah, so I'm a little bit irritated.
Grandma.
Yeah. I'm a little bit irritated that Vic Mignogna has had literal zero proof come out. Zero proof of any wrongdoing. And yet
this guy who self-admits his age range that he's into.
Well, I was gonna say that Vic has had zero proof of anything, and yet the entire swaths of the internet will harass conventions and anything that has anything to do with having him as a guest or anything, but like not even a tangential. Oh, by the way, the creator, child porn in this article, like I just think it's ridiculous. He was literally convicted, guys. Like, we're just gonna pretend like, oh, but he created Kenshin, I just love that. I love the hypocrisy of that group.
For this article, I don't see why that would be relevant. Yes, we know that.
Tangential.
Sure. I'm saying that if I had the Anime News Network version of this, Anime News Network will always insert their little thing in there, right? Because they've got like their entire third half of the article,
right,
or third of the article to just tell you the history of everything.
By the way, this guy was convicted of,
By the way, this guy likes little girls. Anyway, all right. So anyway, I just like irritated at the hypocrisy that nobody ever calls out any of this stuff when this was convicted, and we're still listening to people be idiots about Vic when he has had no proof so far. Like, if you're gonna have proof, like, show it.
Which, by the way, I've been playing Persona 3 lately, and Vic Mignogna voices Junpei, so it's nice to have some Vic back in your life.
Well, JoJo in March, so we'll have Vic back in that.
All right. As who's he in that again? What's his name?
Rohan.
Yeah.
And he didn't get kicked before it was finished?
I don't think so.
That was Viz.
No, Viz stuck him out like the champions they are. Okay.
At everything but releasing things in good time.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I gotta say? When I was working on reorganizing my collection and stuff, I'll say this. When I was doing that, JoJo's way over there, and I'm not gonna go get it. Where did it even go? It's over there somewhere. I was noticing how fucking nice those sets look.
The
Like
JoJo?
they did a damn good job on those JoJo sets, and I'm very
Yeah.
pleased with the
Yeah.
consistency of the quality.
Well, the
that they are using
consistency
the
they get a
same-
bit thinner later, but I
yeah, they
mean,
do get a
Yeah.
little bit thinner, but they stuck out with the same design scheme and everything. I'm really happy that
The clamshell box.
that show deserved a good set, and Viz put out a pretty good set.
Yeah.
All right, back to this
Unfortunately, they
weird
didn't
thing.
put art cards in set 4 or 5.
Oh, I take back everything. They should be hanged for being witches or something, burned at the stake. Do Japanese people think all those anime characters really have blue, pink, and green hair? Creator of Sword Art Online asks fans to answer a question that's often brushed aside in the anime world, with some surprising results. One of the most distinctive visual aspects of anime is the wide array of hair colors characters have. Given that Japan is a country where the indigenous population has naturally black or on rare occasions dark brown hair, surprised you didn't link to another article, newcomers to the medium are often shocked to see how many on-screen stars of Japanese animation have heads of hair in vivid shades of blue, green, purple, or pink. Oddly enough, though, all those wild hair colors are also something that continuing anime fans quickly get desensitized to, on account of how widespread they are in Japanese character design. But Reki Kawahara, light novel author and creator of the Sword Art Online anime franchise, recently started an online debate when he asked fans to once again think about what's going on with anime characters' hair. So he said, "This is sort of out of the blue, but you know how in light novels, manga, anime, and video games, there are characters with hair that's pink or sky blue? I've always thought those characters have black, brown, or at most blonde hair, and are just portrayed as having different hair colors as a form of artistic expression.
like a tint.
Not because they've dyed their hair or that their hair is naturally that unusual color." So like this is kind of like, think about Doug, the show Doug, where like Doug and Patty were kind of like normal colored, but then like Roger was green and Skeeter was blue, you know?
Yeah.
And that one character, I think her name was Phoebe, was like purple or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like think about that. Like if those like are those people actually different colors in that universe? Like the idea is, in that universe, is there a scientific like textbook written about all the different colors that people can be, kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like or are they meant to just all be normal, but it's just like an artistic expression of how like Roger's green because he's kind of like a scaly reptile monster.
He's like
right?
the insert
Kind of thing.
black. He's the insert black friend. So let's make him green.
I think Skeeter, you're thinking of Skeeter, who is the blue one,
Yeah.
because he was like maybe the black friend,
okay.
you know, like
I
the
haven't
Will
seen Doug in
Smith.
forever.
Yeah, but Roger Klotz was the bully who had the black
Oh, okay. Yeah.
leather jacket, right? And he had
Yeah.
green skin and red hair. Anyway,
Turned out to be a
all right. Anyway, so enough about that, and back to the actual thing here. So in Kawahara's mind, at least up until his tweet, all those anime characters don't really have blue/pink/etc. hair within the worlds that their stories are taking place. However, the author said he and his belief changed recently when he was reading a manga in which one of the characters referred to another as, quote, the girl with the pink hair, implying that within that manga's world, the girl's hair really is pastel. That got Kawahara's mind churning, as he went on to tweet, if she has naturally pink hair, then she's living in a parallel universe. And if she's dyeing her hair pink, she's got a punk rocker thing going on. Okay, Kawahara, I guess.
People, at least
Are
not
thinking
in
about this way
Japan,
too
dye
hard.
their hair all the time.
Yeah, there's plenty of people at my work who have obscure, weird hair colors. After spending an entire day trying to wrap his head around this question, Kawahara eventually decided to ask his Twitter followers what they think, with a 4-choice poll, specifically asking about characters who are supposed to be living in the real world. Meaning, like, in the show Doug, if the show Doug takes place in the real world, are they actually blue, right? Kind of thing. The poll garnered 22,277 responses, with the final results being the character's hair is naturally that color, 64.6% of responses. The characters dyed their hair that color, 6.9%. The characters have hair that's actually black or brown, but shown as pink, etc. for artistic purposes, 25.7%, or other, 3%. Nearly
Kinda
1 in
glad
4.
Kind of glad the percentage of votes went that way. I always thought it would be their actual color, but that's just me.
I think that we really don't need to worry about it. Like, this seems like these are questions that never needed to be asked, you know?
Yeah.
Do they? Do they? Do they?
Oh my god.
Green Line 743 says yeah. With a period.
To answer my wife, who just texted me a question you guys didn't see, yes, they have.
Okay. People rewatching this will have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't think even I know what you're talking about unless you just worded that weirdly in response to the second last question
what
you
my wife
posted.
said. Here's what my wife said. So, do you guys watch JonTron?
Yeah.
No.
You saw his Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh my god! What?
thing?
My brother asked me that exact thing today. All of a sudden, I don't know what about it.
Had you seen it?
I haven't seen that one specifically.
Okay. Well, the reason that I'm asking is because apparently, so he destroys Gwyneth Paltrow in that video for being a pseudoscience nut job who's stealing people's money, right? And apparently, there's a new Netflix original show
About her.
The Goop Lab with Gwyneth Paltrow. That's what my wife just texted me. So regarding, okay, first of all, just to be clear, RHYS is using my account because, okay, so in order for us to be able to let the podcast happen without me, somebody else has to start it and whatnot. And in doing that, RHYS has control over the StreamYard, which is hooked into my YouTube account. So when RHYS comments, it comments as me. So RHYS asked this question: do the carpets match the drapes? Greenline 743 says, yeah, absolutely. Haven't you watched? Damn it. Haven't you watched any hentai? Seriously.
But
Seriously.
he said
RHYS, look at me
actually
in the
with the exclamation point.
So, the thing about the question, do the carpets match the drapes, is don't you think it's kind of annoying in anime where they draw the hair with the hair color?
Eyebrows.
And no, I think it's better with black eyebrows usually when the eyebrows are thin. In Dragon Ball, it makes sense because they're so thick, right? The way that they draw them, like for Trunks to have purple hair and purple eyebrows, I wouldn't want him to have black eyebrows. But in Rose and Maiden season 2,
Okay, that's eyelashes.
yes, they draw the eyebrows and eyelashes as the blonde, and it's so off-putting.
I'm talking about eyebrows.
To me, it depends on what type of series we're talking about, because if depending on the tone of story, that would matter or wouldn't matter. That's my take on it. I mean, look at One Punch Man.
Yeah, he has no hair. Excellent point there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Everyone's drawn randomly.
I'm totally lost where I was. Okay, nearly 1 in 4 respondents saying that they interpret the character's hair as being actually black or brown is pretty surprising. I actually don't think it is, considering they have all those live action adaptations of the thing, and they always just give him the black hair. Even they didn't even give in the live action Cromartie High School, which is still the better way of watching the series. The live action movie for Cromartie High School, the character, I forget the two main characters' names, but the guy with the pink hair,
The mohawk?
it's not a mohawk, it's like a like a circular like tuft of hair. He just has like normal, he doesn't have like a shaved head or anything. Anyway, all right, so sure, it's not too hard to see a deep blue or purple as a stand-in for black, since the non-black shade makes it easier to add texture and movement to hand-drawn art than with pure black, which is why in Spider-Man they draw Venom with blue highlights instead of white or whatever. You know, like it looks more authentic, and it gives him it gives like this impression that he's actually blue, but it's like a kind of interesting way of doing it. You know,
So that's why the Blue Eyes White Dragon is actually a Blue Eyes Blue Dragon. Because they couldn't make highlights on the white.
The white is the shiny part.
So the blue is the highlights.
But it's a lot harder to imagine how sky blue or pink are supposed to be interpretive substitutes for any naturally occurring hair color, especially with Japanese characters. See, the thing is, I don't think of most anime as having Japanese characters. Sure, certain slice of life things where the characters have real Japanese names and are
they're
doing very
talking
Japanese
about like,
things.
oh, we're going to Okinawa tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think of most anime. I think of it as like an avatar character of whatever. Of just like it's like a human, you know what I mean? It's not like a Japanese human specifically.
So 90% of the time, their name is like Jap guy.
Not always. Like look at like Code Geass, for example.
Lelouch.
Lelouch,
Yeah, well, that's the
and,
exception,
you know,
not the rule.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That happens more often than you think. You know.
I kind of
Anyway,
for those adaptations, I kind of wish that they would keep the art of the character onto the live action.
boy, I don't think I could watch something with this.
Like
girl.
Koramati, I kind of had a hard time keeping track with the characters at the beginning because
I don't think I could watch a live action movie with a girl wearing a wig this color the whole time. That would this girl looks fine to me. I feel like I could get through that, but this just looks ridiculous to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could get through that.
Okay.
So if you see someone in real
That's
life
my
with
opinion.
hair
Everybody has their
color
own
like
opinion.
that, you'll just be unable to.
My brain won't even
You'll
process.
just
it.
commit suicide on the spot. I can't handle this hair.
You're an abomination. Get away from me.
No.
All right.
Wonder what your wife would think about this situation.
Well, you know what? Maybe if we talked about it next podcast when she may be here. As for the other category, one commenter said that for him, it depends on the character in question. If a quiet, reserved girl has pink hair, I take that as her natural color. But if it's a more energetic and extroverted character, then I think it's a chance she's dyed it. Okay. I mean, I guess.
So let's think
What
about
about-
Haruhi.
So let's think about Lightning. She dye that hair?
That's natural.
This
Natural.
is it is natural because it's a cosplay that actually doesn't look like a wig. Anyway, all right, enough of that question. As for the in the end, there's no definitive industry-wide answer for how anime hair colors are supposed to be interpreted. The practice got its start in the manga industry, since Japanese comics are routinely drawn in black and white, and leaving certain characters' hair uninked or inked in the lighter shade was an easy way to make them stand out. Even certain manga creators haven't been particularly concerned about the exact color of their character's hair, with Urusei Yatsuro artist Rumiko Takahashi depicting the series star Loom, whatever, however you're supposed to pronounce it, with a variety of colors until character designer Akemi Takada decided on her now standardized green, yep, that's how you spell it, green, for the anime adaptation. So really, maybe the best thing to do is to just enjoy the anime aesthetic for how it looks without worrying too much about the exact implications of the design choices, like how big contact lenses would have to be. Okay, well, if you're going to make a really interesting article over here,
Well,
Just
I know
wanna
in
know.
Elfen Lied, the one girl who gets like all her limbs taken off, I think she's supposed to have
This-
brown hair. I think I saw a different. Yeah.
so like this is like this little itty bitty tiny contact.
Yeah.
That's funny. What about this one? Why can't I see this one? That's funny. Okay. Anyway, all right, that's it. Maybe this one's also. Oh God, no.
Oh, Jesus.
Isn't that from the Kakashi or something?
Wasn't it?
I don't know. It looks like
I don't
a cat.
think it
Uh,
is.
no.
I've never
it's
watched
not
it,
from
but it
there.
just looks like the character.
It always bugs me. There's like a half frame right at the end of the guy standing. You almost don't see it. There's like another shot.
Well, the guys
that
behind
there it is.
her.
Did you see it?
Well, the guys behind her don't
Yeah,
look like.
it
from
just showed up
Takashi
on the.
Tosh.
It just showed up on the. Yeah, it's not. I know, but it just showed up on the screen. So I know that it got in there. Anyway, this is like okay. Anyway, all right. New Year's Day mochi asphyxiates more old people. I
More?
gotta drink.
How will
I gotta
this
drink.
go?
It's happened
It's a yearly
before?
thing.
You got a drink
It's
to eat this. Grab some
I'll
ice in the fridge. Sorry, freezer.
Deadly New Year's Day mochi has continued its long tradition of killing elderly Japanese residents. Whether this is a matter of old people merely failing to exercise enough caution or chefs having a hatred for the elderly is uncertain. There's
Why this
another article I didn't share about a person on Reddit who admitted to being a serial killer in an old folks' home that was very heartbreaking to have to read. In Tokyo alone, at least one person has died, and at least 16 more have been hospitalized after eating the squishy, stretchy, and often clogging sweet that is mochi as part of an annual tradition to mark the start of the year. According to the Tokyo Fire Department, people between the ages of 68 and 96 choked after getting the glutinous rice cake rice cake stuck in their throats. The man who died. People between the ages of this die. The man who died. Okay, great way to phrase that. At least one person has that. Okay, cool. That's why they're saying that. The man who died is believed to have been in his 80s. To avoid injury and potentially embarrassing deaths by confectionery, the fire department has also been suggesting that people cut the mochi into smaller bits before consumption. But you can't eat it like an anime when they like down the big thing of rice and like trying to swallow it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Miyazaki films or whatever.
I don't
Anyway.
like mochi.
I hate mochi. It's disgusting.
I've never had it.
As long as it has ice
Well, you
cream
should.
in it, or
No, that's the
Yeah,
one that
that's
tastes the
sweet.
worst. Is the kind that you freeze and you buy at the stores, like the mochi ice cream. That's so gross. I
like
bet regular mochi, like the warm kind that she's eating in what is the show called again?
Tamako Market.
Tamako Market. Thank you. I bet that's probably better.
It's a shame that they make it look so good when it's so god awful.
Have you had
Have
it
you
warm,
tried it?
FDM?
I've had room temperature.
Have you had
Yeah,
it?
I'm
with
wondering.
the
I'm wondering if
sweet,
it tastes
soy
good when it's
sauce on it?
fresh. No,
No,
that sounds awful.
no, it's pretty good, but
All right.
your taste.
Deaths from New Year's Day mochi have happened repeatedly in recent years. At least one person died after choking on mochi in 2019. Two died in 2018 and 2017. One died in 2016, and a staggering 9 were killed in 2015. Given that this year's reports, that's because every year more and more people started to cut it into smaller pieces, probably. Given that this year's reports have come from Tokyo hospitals, it is possible that more people have been killed by the deceptively innocent treat in other parts of the country. In 2001, a choking man was saved after his daughter used a vacuum cleaner to suck the mochi out of his throat. What?
I think that's why
I
it died.
remember that.
Well, if it's not going to be a Sankaku Complex editorialized article, I'm not going to read it. But that sounds funny. Okay, Japanese netizens vote on which of the nation's prefectures would make the best weapons in battle. Now, I think I have to open this in.
I
I
think
have to open this in another.
mochi would.
Good one, FDDM.
I would have went with Hokkaido, but let's see what they say. What do you say?
I'm opening it in Safari so we can see the tweets.
Right.
Just hang on.
What do you think, Reese? Before digging into it.
I have no idea.
Okay. Hey, see, what's your prediction before you read the article?
I don't care. Just a funny article. All right. Japanese netizens vote on which of the nation's prefectures will make the best weapons in battle. Which prefectures have the deadliest curves? Time to find out. We've seen rankings of all 47 prefectures in Japan before, judging everything from their amount of overwork to their residents' average bus size. But now, well, here, Augie, which one do you think has the biggest breasts?
Biggest breasts.
Yeah, you don't get a chance to read it. You just have to guess.
All right. What?
I'm guessing
Residence
Osaka.
average. I would have to go with Kyoto.
E-Cup, Chiba. Oh, I win! Osaka!
Where was Kyoto anyway?
All the way in B-Cup.
Yeah,
The smallest size.
Yeah,
The
all right.
smallest size on the list. That's funny. Okay, anyway, let's see who's the deadliest. But now it's time to answer the real question that we all want to know when it comes to how the prefectures stack up. Which one would make the best weapon for hand-to-hand combat? Choose your fighter. Cue intense fighting game music. The survey was conducted at the Japanese website TownNet, where residents from all over the country cast their votes for the deadliest looking prefectures. Okay, I'm gonna just real quick grab this stool that I've been staring at all fucking time that we've been doing the podcast so I can sit on it because my feet are just screaming.
That's a good idea. It's almost like I suggested it earlier.
Yeah,
I,
thank
like,
you.
sat down.
Thank you.
Have you looked at Dr. Scholl's?
It's not about my insoles. It's about the fact that I'm on my feet running
Like
around
a
all day,
billion
every
hours
day.
a day.
It's about the 43,000 steps I take. So here's how the prefectures came out. Oh, not really a whole lot of votes coming in. Ishikawa Prefecture, 111 votes. Kochi Prefecture, 110 votes. Fukui Prefecture, 77 votes. Aomori Prefecture, 70 votes. And Niigata Prefecture, 64 votes. Let's take a look at each of those individually. So here's the number one winner. Ishikawa Prefecture. With its long, slender shape, Ishikawa is the perfect prefecture to grab and cudgel your opponent with one hand. Plus, as one reader explained, it also bears a striking resemblance to a bottle opener, giving it extra function to crack open a victory drink. Second place, by only one vote, Koichi Prefecture. Sorry, I stepped on the power strip and turned off one of my lights. Okay, it's better now. Koichi Prefecture. Most readers picked Koichi Prefecture because it looks like a boomerang, giving them the long-range advantage. Still, that takes a bit more skill to use than a regular bludgeon weapon, so it's not surprising to see it in second place. Third place, Fukui Prefecture, which looks like a top-heavy beating stick or even a mace. Fourth place, Aomori Prefecture, with its deadly-looking claws. And fifth place, Niigata Prefecture, with its saw-like teeth running along the bottom. For those who are curious, the prefecture that came in last place was Tokushima Prefecture, with a whopping 0 votes. I mean, I guess you could use it as a shield or kind of throw it like a rock. It's okay, Tokushima. We know you're busy fighting off toilet paper bandits anyway. Of course, this being the internet, netizens from many prefectures were quick to take the images of their homelands and transform them into beautiful works
Into
of
a
weaponized
monster
art.
hunter weapon.
Yeah. Number one, Ishikawa, asserting its dominance over everyone else. Hokkaido, which came in at a respectable number 6, showing that it can fight with the best of them.
Yeah, I was up there.
And even though Toyama came in 33rd place, it's still a very proud prefecture.
That's cute.
Of course, use in combat is only one metric to measure the prefectures by. If you're looking to truly compare something important between them, then look not further than the list of the most disturbing prefecture mascots. All right, that's all right. Anyway, I thought that was a quick, fun read. And we learned about breast size. Something new every day on this podcast. Okay, let me go back to sharing.
Where are we going back to?
We're going back to sharing it through Brave. Okay. Also, KFC Japan holds. Damn it! I gotta do this one through through Safari too. Okay, let's try that again. Boy, I hope Brave fixes the embedded tweets not showing up soon. Apparently, Chrome has that problem too because Brave is on the Chrome engine. So, KFC Japan holds annual memorial services for its chicken. Execs pray for chicken of the past and future on Chicken Thanksgiving. With another Japanese Christmas in the books, we've often talked about the unique holiday custom here of eating fried chicken, particularly that of Kentucky Fried Chicken. However, there is another KFC-related ritual in Japan that even those who live here are surprised exists. When visiting the famous shrines Higashi Fushimi Inari in Tokyo and Sumiyoshi Taishi in Osaka in June, one might come across a group of soberly dressed men and women attending what looks exactly like a standard memorial service. It's only if the adjacent signboard was properly read that anyone could tell this was in fact Chicken Thanksgiving or Chicken Kanshasai. Looks like there was another Chicken Thanksgiving. Chicken Thanksgiving is an annual event where the president of KFC Japan, as well as other top brass and key people along the supply chain, such as meat processors, sales reps, and seasoning producers, gather in honor of chickens. J-Town Net spoke with the KFC rep, who said that the practice has been going on since 1974 as a way for the company to show respect for the roughly 22 million birds slaughtered each year for Japanese restaurants, and to pray for safe and healthy meat during the following year. Even KFC's Colonel Sanders statues have attended the proceedings. Yikes. Despite it being such a long-running custom of such a high-profile company, a lot of Japanese people were surprised to learn of the existence of Chicken Thanksgiving. I never knew there was such a thing as Chicken Thanksgiving. They actually mentioned it on the KFC website. It's not just an urban legend. Oh yeah, I remember seeing it on the schedule when visiting the shrine once and thought it was strange. That's very considerate of them to show respect for the animals. I like KFC, but even I'm still surprised they would go to these lengths. Wow, I need to learn more about my own country. Hold on, one of my AirPods just died. Okay, good. The other one's in there. Okay. KFC told J-Town Net that they were actually surprised at the response Chicken Thanksgiving gets whenever it's mentioned on social media. Their surprise is understandable, since such ceremonies aren't all that uncommon in Japan. Following the Shinto principle that everything has a spirit and should be respected as such, funeral-like ceremonies are often conducted for inanimate objects, especially ones in the form of people or animals such as dolls or statues. Sony made headlines around the world a little while back when they held a service for dozens of their Aibo robot dogs before dismantling them for spare parts. Also, at the end of the Sapporo Snow Festival, each of the massive snow sculptures are blessed before getting torn down. So if robots and snowmen get such a treatment, it shouldn't come as a shock that chickens would as well. If you too would like to pay respects to your last bucket of extra crispy or double down, be sure to stop by the next Chicken Thanksgiving with an offering of 7 herbs and spices. I'm curious what kind of parts they're actually taking out of these, what are they called? The AIBO robot dogs? Little springs and cranks.
For business community relations, this makes sense. Seems silly, but
okay, now we can go back to
So is KFC in Japan referred to as Kyoto Fried Chicken or Kentucky Fried Chicken?
that'd be hilarious if
Kentucky.
it was.
Just because most Japanese people won't understand what Kentucky is.
Right. Japanese professor says Japan needs to stop with the lolicon and shotokan. I am not going to read this. I'm just going to give you the summary by reading this part. Japan, the country, will become a morbid decision from all over the world if it doesn't stop the lolicon shotokan by the Olympic Games. So, a She/her professor in faculty of manga, Kyoto Seika University, translator, shoujo manga scholar, feminist, transgender, JSL, whatever that means.
Jesus Christ.
They just want
So
more.
this person,
I think we think it's a person.
this.
Do they identify as a person, though?
No, wait, no, it's she, her.
She, her.
I don't know. This feminist, wrote that tweet and got in a big argument. Long story short, people were sharing facts and logic, and one person shared this image, which they've translated here for us. Stop the child abuse comic, pervert. Learn from us and ban it. Learn from you, right? So this is Japan, and this is all the other cultures with their big Jew noses, apparently. But Japan, rape at national level, rape per 100,000 population. 1.72 per 100,000 in 2004. Rate per 100,000 population, 0.99 in 2014. So in 10 years, it went down. Sexual offenses against children, rate per 100,000 population, 30.1 in 2004, 21.1 in 2014. So it's gone down. So let's see what it's been in rape at a national level in England and Wales. It went from 26 to 51. In sexual offenses against children went from 136 to 271. In Northern Ireland, rapes went from 21 to 35, and in for offenses against children, 223 to 335. So they've all the point is they've all gone up, right?
Right.
And they shared that, and then and I got blocked. Right, so that's just how it happens, obviously. So once again, kind of furthers the point that I've made numerous times. But I
that's
thought
pretty interesting.
I thought that was interesting, at least. Canada charges man for writing child porn. I haven't read this one yet.
For writing.
It's kind of short, though, so writing.
Having an imagination.
So FDM, I'm going to read this because if you read it, you might verbalize child porn and get arrested.
Exactly.
Just in case there's any quotes in here. So a man from Quebec.
He's a Russian robot. He doesn't exist.
Yes. Oh, yes. Shit. You've just reminded me what the last couple articles are about. Hint, 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 hint. Okay. A man from Quebec is being charged with the heinous crime of abusing imaginary children in text form. Yet another instance of the fictional medium being regarded as the same as reality. It is being reported that novelist Yvonne Godbout, that's a crime of a name, and his publisher Nicolas Doucette, no relation to Greg Doucette, I'm sure, T. Greg, are being charged with distribution of child pornography by book burning authorities after a single reader took exception to a paragraph in Godbout's book. You speak Quebecian. FDM, how do you pronounce Godbout?
Gabo?
Gabo? Which referenced a father sexually abusing his daughter. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you wrote a book about things that actually happened. The pair are being prosecuted in spite of the fact that the novel, a dark retelling of Hansel and Gretel, is aimed at adults. No children are being visually depicted. There is a content warning on the back of the book, and this scene is not intended to be erotic. According to Canada's Supreme Court, censorship is only allowed in cases where material poses a reasonable risk of harm to children. The Canadian Civil Liberties Association has said that the criminal proceedings are, quote, a terrible exercise of your quasi-judicial powers. It is straining the limits of reasonableness to suggest that the novel is, quote, child pornography, as contemplated under Canada's criminal code. In order to have the two men convicted, the prosecution must show that the written material, quote, fuels the sexual fantasies of pedophiles and could incite them to offend, and that the novel does not constitute a work of art. Boy, that is such a burden they put on the Canadian people, that you have to be in charge of sex offenders getting horny. It's on you, FDDNM.
So if I come out with my book about feet, does that make me accountable?
That might make you a footable.
Exactly.
Can't drink my water in peace.
Oh yeah, Is there any news to that what do you call it? Sex doll cabaret in Canada?
Whatever that was.
I think Ricada interviewed the dollhouse. Is that what it's called?
Yes, we caught.
He interviewed he had the owner of the dollhouse as a guest on one of his streams. So if you're interested about it, you can hear it from the horse's mouth.
Are you was it like a brothel or something
Yes.
with sex dolls?
Yeah.
Sex doll brothel. So FDM, you weren't here in the last podcast.
No.
We covered an article from 2014 on Sora News 24 about how Japan created an idol, like a pop idol, that was literally a sex doll.
Okay.
Like an actual sex doll. Yeah. I'll have to link you the...
Was it intended to be a troll or...
It was legit.
Okay, have you seen the Fukons?
You're talking about that thing that's on Sentai has it or whatever.
Yeah.
Section
It's
23.
It's literally it's like a drama, like a TV drama, but all of the actors are mannequins,
dolls.
right? So there's a movie called Lovetopia, and all of the cast, except for the main male character, are sex dolls. And they took the lead actress, quote unquote, and turned her into a pop idol.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a great line in there that I can't spoil for you because I've butchered it numerous times trying to recite it to my wife, and I just had to pull up the thing and show her what we read because it was so funny about them miscalculating the number of fans who would come by great magnitudes. So anyway, all right, so here we go. Gabut and Dausit, I don't know how to pronounce these names, are set to go on trial before a jury at the
Isn't that
help me out, Quebecians.
Okay, they're called Quebecers.
Justice in the Quebec town of in September, should they somehow be convicted, the case could lead to a profound chilling effect on artistic expression in the supposedly liberal nation. A professor at the University of Winnipeg suggested if the book were capable of inciting child abuse, Agatha Christie would be guilty of inciting mass murder. Also, isn't the book Lolita like a respected classic about a guy who's infatuated with the little girl?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't they make a movie about that?
Yeah, Kubrick.
And like,
movie.
Who did? What's his name? The guy who raped the girl.
No.
What's his name? The guy who did The Pianist. Didn't he make that movie? Anyway, the writing was on the wall, guys. By the way, did you guys see Ricky Gervais eviscerate Hollywood at the Golden Globes?
No.
Holy shit, that was amazing.
Oh yeah, AC. Can we go back to you for a sec?
You're gonna hear me?
So what's with the Wedding Peach? I know you have season 1 and season 2, but you have like 4.
I have.
The season box sets and the art box.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's a collection 2 art box.
Then what's that right beside the 2 purple
On the
ones?
right of it.
Welcome to Pia Carrot.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I had to move everything over. That's why it looks different now. And there's a bunch of open space up there because I have to move this stuff first before I move everything up there. So I try to overshoot a little bit by a couple of shelves so that I have more room. Anyway, back to this. Okay, so guys, sex robots, indistinguishable from humans, allegedly coming in 2025.
How did they come up with this release date for it?
I don't know. We're going to find out. But if you ask me, they already look exactly like every person I know. Indistinguishable.
I mean,
Right.
when they're still.
Yeah. When they talk, not really.
Okay. So several sex robot manufacturers have reveled in their technology and claimed that the industry could see some startling advances in realism come this decade, such as them appearing indistinguishable from humans. Press X to doubt. Currently, sex dolls are able to hold basic conversations, respond to touch, and other basic and other basic functionalities, thanks to the implementation of AI. But Matt McMullen, founder of the successful successful sex robot producer Real Doll, believes people will be unable to tell the difference between humans and the lust alleviators come 2025, at least until halfway through a conversation.
I like the lust alleviator line there.
So I like. So first of all, like, are they just gonna are they gonna Terminator them? Are they gonna graft them in real skin? Because I feel like that's gonna be the number one way you can tell that something's fake.
Are they going to use the burn victims technique or whatever to add skin to them?
I don't think they're going.
Sorry, did I say burn victims? I meant the burn
Arsonist, yeah.
The arsonist, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but
The new technique they developed.
That'd be
with them.
hilarious if that was where it went, where where all that. new
great
stuff
callback,
went
dude. That was
first
great. Okay, so Real Doll is currently developing robots equipped with ocular technology that will recognize its user when they are in a crowded room. Who the fuck is in a crowded room with their sex doll? Is it an orgy? Is a sex doll orgy?
Yeah.
Whatever they do it now.
Is there a super level of cucking where your sex doll gets
Cuckening.
raped by somebody else?
Are you taking it to your Thanksgiving dinner? Say, this is my new girlfriend. Her name is Candy.
I watched not like a documentary. I watched like a TV special about a guy who had to introduce his girlfriend to his sex doll collection or something like that.
How'd that go?
Oh God.
I feel like it went surprisingly well, but I also feel like it only went well because the girl was on TV and couldn't freak out.
They like imposed her good reaction on her.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. Anyway. Recognize its user when they are in a crowded room, while sex doll seller Cloud Climax is working on robots capable of breathing with an AI chest cavity. They also believe their models will, quote, replace human intimacy. So, I'm sorry.
Would they be
I don't have a sex doll. I don't really want one, right? But I don't have one. I have zero experience. I don't know if I've ever been in the same house as one existing or room.
Not
or
that you're
whatever.
aware of, because they look so alike.
There's so much. But if I had to look at this and say, you know what? She's not lifelike because her eyes don't look at me in a crowded room and she doesn't seem to be breathing. Like, I just imagine like you hear like an iron lung kind of like, you know, like this like chest compression thing is all happening with this really noisy, you know, like Darth Vader
like an
style of breathing.
Literally the sound of an air compressor.
Right, exactly. Right, just to get the chest to go up slightly, and like the eyes. Oh, I wanted to show you guys something actually about eyes. I don't know if this is actually. I gotta move this to the other window so I can do it. I noticed something weird that I want to share with you.
Hey, bro.
We're gonna get awkwardly close for a minute. Okay, can you see? Fuck, this is gonna be really hard. Can you see how bloodshot this eye is?
Kind of.
I see that
Yeah.
vein.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you want to see something really weird? Watch what happens when I turn my head. Do you see my eyes counter rotate?
Yeah. It's
Is
like
that weird?
no.
Did you know that
It's
eyes do
staying.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gyroscopic. Well, I
Okay.
kind of came to that conclusion the one day that I was like leaning over and looking at TV, and I'm like, it looks the same. Like, it doesn't look like it's looking this way when I tilt
Yeah, but
my
I
head.
figured that your brain was doing that. I didn't know your eyes actually counter rotated.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
FDDNM above your princess principal. Can you move that box set somewhere?
Can I what?
Move that box set more, well, not on top of the princess principal.
There's nothing wrong with your collection.
What about Project Blue Earth SOS?
Oh, are you sure you want to leave it like that? I know it's not that.
I don't want to, but I don't have space.
Okay. She's looking at us.
Also, you notice
She's
how when
not
you move
looking
your
at you. She's looking at me through a crowded room,
Brad.
dude.
She's looking at me.
have you ever taken your camera, and moved it around, and you're like, wow, that looks so shaky. Notice how when you look, it doesn't do that? That's why your eyes are counter-rotating, because they're
No,
gyroscopic.
I get that. Yeah, I'm just saying that I thought your brain was doing that. I didn't realize, like, next time you get like what I was trying to show you in this ridiculously not high resolution camera, that you see like that direct line. Go into the bathroom, look in the mirror, and rotate your head, and you'll see just how fucking far your eyes will counter rotate. It's bizarre because when you look around, you can't do it. And if you look at a person and turn your head, it doesn't counter rotate. It does it when you look at yourself in the mirror, like when you're focusing on your own eye.
You can't see your own eye move
In the mirror. You can't.
But no,
you see it counter rotate. You mean?
Yeah, but you
As in
don't, because it blinds you for that brief moment when your eye is moving.
All right. Anyway, I don't know why we got off on that tangent over her looking at the crowded room and all that. But okay. So back to it. So all right. Where was I? Okay. Louis Love, creator of quote Silicon Lovers, made a remark that their dolls are already uncanny appearance-wise when compared to humans. Okay, now I got to look it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and not screen share. Reese, please don't. I'm just going to remove it from the stream so that it doesn't. So we don't have any accidental things while I'm looking up Silicon Lovers. Dear God. Dear God. So fuck, now this is in my Amazon search history.
Good.
And now everything's going to be recommended as that.
This is
Until it
creepy.
goes back and clears out.
You can always delete that from well, here,
one pair silicone life-size female mannequin foot display jewelry sandal shoe sock display art sketch with nail.
You know what would be
Great
the
title.
ultimate cuckening? If that was actually a guy's feet for the mold.
You think that would be like the 3 digits?
If you have a foot
76
fetish, this
bucks?
exists.
Yeah.
You're welcome, you disgusting perv.
I'm not gonna buy it. I'm
Sure,
just
God, I saw shop the kids store by 8. I'm like, what the fuck? They sell kids' feet?
And now we know what AC is getting for
So hold on.
Christmas
What's
next
funny?
year.
So first of all, just to acknowledge, this looks a little bit more authentic than I was expecting. To be clear.
Well, it looks like you put underneath your bed and someone's dead underneath your bed.
So I'm looking. Oh God, the eBay ones are even creepier.
Well.
Oh God.
Ugh.
Why do you have it in like a foot bath?
I think it was freshly used.
Yeah.
Maybe that's their thing, is watching feet in water.
I don't think it's a great idea to buy this nature of item secondhand to begin with, but
That's
God.
a really good point. Okay, I need to look up the actual thing. When I looked up Silicon Lovers, that was in the shop tab of Google, you know? So hold on, let me look up this. I want to see if there's a website that doesn't have stuff too uncomfortably, like we can't show it.
is it possible to comfortably do this, Brad? Is it?
I don't know. Shop sex dolls. Hey, they're having a sale.
They're having a sale. Oh joy!
A post-Christmas Black Friday New Year's sale.
All right, if I'm being real, okay, I could probably show this one. Hold on.
You seem awfully
Well, once
excited about this.
If I'm being real, they what was the statement they made? They said, "Would Louis Love, creator of Silicon Lovers, made a remark that their dolls are already uncanny appearance-wise when compared to humans." So I'm not going to say they're uncanny compared to humans, but they are uncanny compared to the other dolls that are available. Like that looks way better than the other shit we're going to have to look at, right? It's only $2,000 too. So your mail order bride exists and is right here, and we'll look at other people. I'm sorry, we'll look at you in a crowded room.
It will. This is the model.
No, I'm saying like in the next. Why, guys? Why you sell these? This is so creepy. Okay, so anyway, all right, back to the discussion here. Okay, in terms of looks, I think we're already there with some of the newer designs. To the initiated, it's quite easy to mistake the dolls for humans. I don't know, I think you mean the uninitiated, especially when compared to the old school inflatable dolls. Well, if we're going to go that far back, why don't you just have especially compared to your hand when you drew that face on it?
the pinnacle. What was that tweet with the with Fujiko and the sex doll? How did you phrase that?
Oh, the pinnacle of male desire or whatever.
Yeah.
I forgot I did that. Okay. The old school inflatable dolls. We've reached that point where we've passed the quote uncanny valley syndrome, and dolls actually look like real people, both male and female. As technology is becoming more advanced, so are our doll designs. One simple example is some dolls are now being created with 3D body scanners of humans rather than being traditionally sculpted in clay, in a clay. So I was going to say, if you're looking to improve your sex doll, having it look at you in a crowded room and breathing, I mean, maybe breathing for the immersion, if it's not like we described it with like the air pump sound and everything. But I think that in order for a sex doll relationship to be like not get stale, I think you need to like have it actually secrete hormones and stuff, or pheromones or whatever. You know what I mean?
And be self-lubricating.
So they probably are. That seems like an easy.
You have to fill up the chamber before you start.
You have to fill the tank up before you sit.
For deer dummies to try to collect their sample.
Gross.
They should like put a to get the immersion right. You have to like put an actual womb in there with like actual
with the
actual
Death
impregnation
Stranding
features.
Baby. Yeah. A statement from the aforementioned Matt McMullen said, I would say probably within 5 to 10 years, the appearance of a robot is going to drastically improve. AI may start to approach something in the mammal category, but I don't see necessarily human-like intelligence. As such, I don't think we can even consider the idea of human-like self-awareness. Yeah, because then they're not going to want to have sex with you because they're going to know what a creep you are. This is really the big can of worms that people worry about with AI. So that's a little bit further out, but I do think the engineering side and the artistic side will come a long way in the next 10 years. Dr. David Levy, a man experienced in the realm of AI, predicted that the concept of uploading a personality to a robot will arrive sometime soon. People have already tried to scratch the surface of that. There was an American company years ago that were trying to develop software to conduct human-computer conversations in the persona of somebody well-known. They got the idea of wanting to replicate one of their friends who had died at an early age, exactly as people were saying tonight. And I think that will happen. At the moment, human-computer conversation is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, unsolved problems of AI. And I will always believe that in order for a sex robot to reach a kind of pinnacle where they are almost indistinguishable from humans, it has to have good conversation. If you want a relationship with someone, you want it to be an interesting, amusing, and loving conversation.
You basically just have a real person at that point.
Yeah, I think that, I like how I phrase this, I think that is the nut that needs to be solved. Once that's happened, it will be very straightforward to create a persona that are replicas of people living or dead. Taking into consideration that sex dolls have sometimes proven more popular than real women, and the issues prostitutes have with robots taking their jobs, because of the sex doll brothel, yep. The growing realism of sex robots will no doubt become a more frequent topic in the future, though certain occurrences may end up becoming frequent should the sex dolls reach more human levels of existence. Okay, So let's talk about this last article here. Kazakhstan bodybuilder planning to marry his sex doll.
Good luck with that.
Oh, he's ready to pump her up.
Gross. A bodybuilder from Kazakhstan, also known as the greatest country of the world, has announced his marriage to a sex doll named Margot. The ludicrous... I read that as ludicrous appearance. Sorry, it says occurrence. The ludicrous occurrence likely doing little to shock those accustomed to such strange happenings, such as the instance when a Japanese man married a Love Plus character. Yuri Tolochko, the husband-to-be, constantly posts photos of his bride on Instagram. Yeah, we're going to have to look at a lot of them, unfortunately. Who he has apparently been dating for 8 months. And by dating, they mean using to masturbate with.
clapping those prosthetic cheeks.
Tolochko also expressed that he escorted Margot to a plastic surgeon as such popularity made her feel self-conscious. Jesus Christ, dude.
It's a Barbie world.
A real plastic surgeon in this case. Oh. A remark from Tolochko on the matter. When I presented her photo to the world, there was a lot of criticism, and she began to develop a complex. No, you began to develop a complex. So we decided to have plastic surgery. She has changed a lot. And by plastic surgery, I mean you bought a new face for her. She has changed a lot. At first, it was hard to accept, but I got used to it later on. It was at a real clinic with real doctor. Like he has to acknowledge that. Like he, in the back of his mind, knows how fucking ludicrous this is.
Hey, he's paying for his time being here.
The lonely male also indicated that he first met his plastic wife while at a bar. No, did she see you from across a crowded room? Oh my God. Where she was a waitress that was unfortunately inhibited in the realm of motility. On top, what did her sex robot tits just spray out booze? Like, is that, did they just hook her up to that? Wait till you guys see what she looks like without her like covering on. It's horrifying. On top of this, Tolochko also went into detail with her personality. I'm sure it's gripping. Voicing that she can sometimes get an attitude and trigger arguments, but ultimately still retaining the intimate bond they both share. Only a fraction of the photos of the passionate couple enjoying life as if the hunk of plastic were a sentient being. So here's a couple of images here. Damn it, I didn't even mean to click on that. So, is this before or after the plastic surgery? Also, look at her arms.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Looks like he wrapped
That's
her up.
very immersive.
I think this is before.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Is this your apartment? Oh, God, there's stuff on here we probably can't show on YouTube. I mean, I don't know that for sure. I'm just assuming. YouTube don't.
Christ. Oh my God.
This guy took this picture and chose to show it to the world. You know, I don't think this guy's actually in love with this sex doll. I think he
probably
has
just
a weird
sponsored.
fetish. He has a weird fetish for like humiliation or whatever, like showing people these weird things he's doing.
So he's meditating. I guess the live person there is the instructor, and she can't have the sex doll there, but he's meditating anyway.
No, I think they just couldn't get her hips because all of the joints are these ridiculous things here.
Yeah.
I don't think they could get her hips to bend into that position. So this is just her meditating, leaned up against a wall.
Yeah.
She's just holding the snack there.
Oh, Oh god, I can't show that stuff.
Oh, the
She's got her
elbows,
hand in your
too.
pants, dude.
Jesus. This is like the cringiest thing.
So on the plus side, this guy's not having kids.
Yeah. He takes her to get it.
All these people are not going to have kids.
It looks like
We're going to go through the sex
Some
doll
right
boom
there.
and then the sex doll crash a generation later when none of these people managed to have kids.
plastic surgery.
Or
Yeah.
all their kids are going to be like Mikey from the Fukons
The whole generation dies out in one.
in one go. Oh,
Well, at least you
why?
can, well, it's
Okay.
gonna take that part
Is
out,
that
put it in
even-
the dishwasher, and clean it out.
Is that even for the purposes he bought it for? Then, like, I don't even think of that.
Like, does it have an opening?
I don't think so. It's just a doll that he
It
probably like.
legitimately looks like just a mannequin, doesn't it? Like he chopped up
Yeah.
a mannequin in his wood shed and added joints to it,
Joints.
right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh dear God!
Oh god.
In the shower, dude.
Wow.
Is she?
Hey,
Is
she'll
that
rust.
soap?
Does
or
she
is
get
that,
rusty?
Like the
Or does he
paint
have an
dots
armpit
coming
thing?
off here?
Who knows? Hopefully that's soap, not paint coming off.
I'm pretty sure he just bought a different doll.
Yeah.
And threw
Well, I
the
hope
old one
so.
in the
I hope
garbage
so.
and said, "Yeah, I got her plastic surgery."
New look, new.
The face looks like dazed. Not
This
that
one
I'd
stands
expect.
up, so it's got to be a different one.
She's a strong,
I
independent.
just love the idea of this
Need
guy
no man
walking
to hold
everywhere
her up.
carrying it like at his waist, like so, like it's like perpendicular, like they're a plus sign when they walk, right? And he just walks around with this doll. All these cars zooming past, and he like sets it up for his little picture for Instagram.
Yeah.
Who took this picture, by the way?
He probably has a stand, hopefully.
You think he just pushed a button in his phone, took the picture from there?
Hope so.
Is that
Maybe
why his
it's not.
hands like in his pocket? Because I hope that's what he's doing in his pocket. Clicking a
Imagine
button.
some dude just walking around taking pictures with another guy with a sex doll on the street.
I can see an SNL skit with Woody Harrelson.
An S&M skit?
SNL.
Well, I don't think we're going to top that. So maybe we should move on to the watch club.
Finally, so moving from R to G.
PG.
Hey, we got Girl Who Let Through Time.
before
right
before we
here?
get started,
Oh shit! It actually is. It's right here. How is it always right next to me?
that that weapons thing with the prefixtures or whatever
Uh huh.
reminded me of one thing I got this last week: the baby holding the pole.
Yeah.
All right, I got this week. It's a extend or
It's a really large dildo.
it's an extendable cane. It's a like appearing cane. That's what it's called. It's an appearing cane.
What is that for?
It's like just a cane that it's a rolled up piece of sheet metal,
Oh, does that extend?
but it goes out to this about 5 feet.
Oh,
long.
okay. I thought that was like a microphone stand attachment that goes on the top, so it like extends all the way down to that super long.
And
Is that
finally,
a Watchmen poster?
Yeah.
yes, it is.
Right on. For the
That's
movie
been
or
on
for
my
the crappy show?
That's been for the movie. That's been on my closet door for over 10 years. So yeah. Incidentally, this goes up to just about 5 feet. I am 4'10".
You use it as a bow staff when shit gets
Yeah.
hairy?
Yep.
Right on.
So that is that that one article reminded me of that, and I didn't actually have any anime thing, but yeah, that was it. I thought it was kind of cool.
Sit on me because of how difficult it is to get around. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my movie. That's the same one as Augie's movie, just because I like to have a prop in my hands. Let me also just look real quick in case the other movie just happens to be on my desk here. I don't know where it is. But remember when we laughed about? I was like, "Whoa, why is it now $90?" Yeah, because the one I bought was the Region 2 one, and apparently that movie's extremely fucking rare.
Oh.
I did get it off eBay for cheap though, so. She's leaping.
I love how you two are presenting the Bondi copies.
No.
Hang on.
I have the.
She's.
Fuck,
now it's gone the fuck that up. She's. Why? I can't get her to leap the right way. Okay, hold on. She's leaping at Reese. There we go. I did it. All right, that was all I wanted to do. That was the dumbest thing ever. All right, I'm gonna eat the rest of these donut bites.
The story is about a girl who is a complete train wreck and stumbles across time leaping chestnut.
Well, I'm sorry.
There's more.
Stumbles across. Let me pull up the tweets. Let me pull up the tweets so that Reese can show the agonizing
agony.
I never explained why July 13th was Happy Day.
It's like a pun on the word for 1 and 3.
Okay.
I love having to hit like 30 clicks to actually get to the stupid thing.
What are you eating now?
I don't know.
He's eating what we call Timbits.
Like the donut things.
Oh, the Cinnabon buns. Bites.
All right. Reese, would you like to address?
What am I looking at?
Her
elbow on the
an elbow to the nuts. I mean, you've heard about arrow to the knee. Well, how about let's raise you an elbow to the nut?
Yeah.
She used to be an adventurer like you.
Moving on.
Then she took an elbow to the nuts.
Yep.
I was only able to watch like half an hour of this movie last night, and I wasn't able to finish it, but I have seen it before like a couple times.
I've seen it before as well, so I can speak.
So, Augie, how'd you like this movie? Did you like it?
I did like it.
Gasp! Augie liked to host at a film?
Yeah, this is like the only one.
How? This is like the least awesome one.
No, I think Mirai is the least awesome one.
So, regarding Hosoda, as I always say, I like all of his movies, and I immediately forget why after the movie's over. Now, with this movie, I did rewatch it. One day, my son was yelling for us at night, and my wife went to check on him, and then she came back, and I asked her to hand me the coffee that I have in the fridge, because I always go to Taco Bell on the way home to get an iced coffee, because I have to be at work before they open, so I just get it the night before and put it in the fridge. And I started drinking it, and it turned out that it was 3:30 in the morning and not 4:30 in the morning. So I got up way too early that day, and it was just enough time to watch this entire fucking movie before work. So that's how I watched it. I liked it again the second time around, but my wife did not. My wife doesn't like this movie because the romance,
the ending just kind of
very unfulfilling.
Yeah, that's exactly why I don't like it in the long scheme.
So you will also not like the live action movie, except for this exchange here, which also was almost the title of this podcast. But
that's the movie this was from.
Yes, my dick won't get hard with the drawing like this. Give me a hard on. Make it hard.
Want me to put
Also,
context or no
I'm
context?
going to take that first picture.
This is the girl.
Save it.
And that's her dad.
Yep.
That's supposed to be like the Chiaki character.
Okay, so again, I believe this character might be
The ant.
Chiaki character's aunt.
Oh.
But it's weird because the timing doesn't quite make sense. You know, because I don't think the anime doesn't take place in like the distant future.
No.
No.
He's
Right.
the future.
So anyway, but in this, her mom in the live action one also had some time travel-y stuff going on. So it's like, I think it's just an alternate retelling. I don't think that it's supposed to be like together or sequeled or whatever, you know? So also, this movie is actually called Time Traveler, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which again, as I addressed at the beginning of the podcast, is a terrible name for it because she doesn't do any leaping. She just falls in wormholes.
She fell into one wormhole.
But I will say I legitimately loved watching this movie from the perspective of it was amazing to see her go back into the 70s in Japan and see all the outfits and stuff that everybody wore. And it really felt immersive. Like it was bizarre how well it felt like I stepped back in the 70s Japan. Like all the outfits were so accurately taken straight from the 70s that like the way the jeans fit of all things like came across as accurate. Like as what like you think of the old photos of Bruce Lee in his youth growing up in the 70s, like he dressed exactly like the characters dressed and the clothes fit him the way that they fit them. That's the thing that you don't think about. It's not just about wearing clothes, it's about the way clothes fit when they used to be stitched differently because the styles were different. And they got it spot on. It was really a fun time capsule effect to watch it. But in terms of the actual story, go ahead.
In terms of fashion, I agree. When I watched this, I felt like when I watched this movie, I felt like I was watching an episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show just because of how true to the 70s the fashion was.
So the movie itself, and I think we should just sort of try to plow through the movie because
Which
we're
one?
the only ones who saw it. The live action one, sorry. Because Augie and I are the only ones who saw it. So the thing about the movie is that the romance is significantly worse than the anime one in the sense that not only is she falling for her dad's best friend.
Yeah. Well,
we learned that he dies in like the very beginning of the movie, and she stupidly doesn't figure it out until it's too late, is unable to save him at the last second because the time police have to pull her back to her own time. And she's like, well, I'm going to stay here. Throws the vial of time travel liquid on the ground and runs away. I'm going to save my boyfriend. And then he just like, oh, you're a girl and I'm a grown man and I have better muscles and I caught you easily, really easily. And then I wiped your memories and took you back to the time. Your tantrum was worthless. That didn't accomplish anything, right? And then, but just as a dick move, he leaves the Super 8 footage of the movie that they filmed together in her pocket. Just so that she can have that sting of not remembering anything about this guy, but having to like relive the like deja vu of making this movie with him and being in the movie, though you don't actually see her from the front, like you see her from the back as she's walking away. And like she just has like this emotional breakdown over it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, guys, do you not realize that the audience has to sit here knowing that that guy literally left her and died in a bus accident that fucking night? And just because she doesn't remember it doesn't mean the audience doesn't remember it.
Right.
It was a big dick move on the creator's part.
For trying to categorize this, I wouldn't call this romance. I would call this more of a drama. I mean, the romance is about the same as a Disney princess. She sees the one guy.
No, this is
She
this is
says
a
stuff to him. She swoons.
no, this is an Asian drama style romance where it's a real slow burn, and they fizzle it out at the end before it actually manifests in anything, which
Yeah.
whatever. Time guy was weird. He didn't seem to need to be in the movie. My wife and I had this running joke that that Lavender is banned in the future, and that's why he's like sitting at the creek bed and he's like analyzing the lavender, and like they're just punishing everybody who has lavender because it's banned in the future.
Looks like they have. They looks like in the future they have very huge greenhouses. More for this movie, what I enjoyed more was the quirky humor. Like, first of all, it's disgusting to live in the 70s back then because everyone shared bathhouse. Okay, fine, you have a community bath, but it's not open every day. Ugh. So their suggestion is to use the community sink. Okay. So then later on,
the 70s in Japan aren't the 70s in the States because they were still developing and modernizing and all that. Right. But yeah, so that was an interesting take because you kind of think about like Tezuka and people like Ano and them growing up at different like being different ages in those things and thinking about like them. Like they are who they are because Japan was like that at that time.
No,
but go ahead.
Now, as I was watching it, I thought it was pretty funny. When we saw the director's room, he keeps changing the posters, but he saw posters for like
something that very much looked like Legend of
Frankenstein,
Legend of Galactic Heroes.
Yeah.
No, I just don't point.
You see, 100%.
Okay.
I guess a slight Easter hunt, but
they did like I said, they did a remarkable job getting the scenery. It was bizarre how well they went from this is modern day Japan to here's the past, and it's like the settings could not have been more different. In a uniqueness sort of way where it was really easy to like feel like you were in a different time zone, like or time frame. There's a game for PlayStation 2 called Shadow of Destiny. And it's got a time travel mechanic in it where the character that you play as dies in the opening to the game. And then a homunculus from like alchemy, like he makes like a deal with the devil that he doesn't realize that she's like a devil character. And she's actually giving him the opportunity to go back in time to prevent his death. And like, it's like this whole big thing where you go back in time. Literally it's like, okay, so the killer blew a poison dart at you from in this tree. So you literally go back to the medieval ages and prevent the tree from being planted. Right. So that the killer can't use that. Right. But what they do is when you go to like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it's like it's in a different, it's like maybe black and white. And then you go like 100 years ago, it's in sepia tone. You go, so they do like this really cool thing where stuff from the future is still in color, but everything else is in like what you might view it as like in a museum. So like the sepia tone images of like, and it's a really cool effect, but this movie didn't need that. That's it worked really well for that game, but I'm just saying like this movie, you didn't even need that because it just, everything about it, the setting, the design for everything was so good at establishing that you're in the 70s. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about this movie. I think we should get into the actual.
I like the character interactions, but.
Oh, I got one more thing actually.
Yeah.
One more thing. Sorry. So this is not the best image for this. I don't know why, but through like half of this movie, I kept getting glimpses of this Asian actress looking like Lizzie McGuire. Did you feel like that at all? Because she doesn't have a very Asian face from certain angles. She has a monstrously huge nose for an Asian girl. Like
it does have that sunken ridge, though.
It doesn't look so bad from this specific angle, but you see it from time to time, and it just like it's bizarre how big it is, right? And she has a look to her it looks mixed, right? She doesn't look full Japanese. I don't know what the other species is that she is, but it's not Japanese, right?
It's a race species.
Species?
Yeah, species, because it's not human. Anyway. All right, so yeah, that's the last thing I had to say about this. Let's move on to our hosted. I was telling Reese, I kind of want to see a supercut of her jumping through time or leaping through time like we had for the podcast doc image here. And I want to see this alongside the Digimon movie, like data stream stuff, because it felt very reminiscent.
Yeah.
I think Hoso just has a massive fetish for this digital world style that he's created.
Big open places like that, yeah.
That's more prominent in Summer Wars.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I don't remember Summer Wars at all, like I said.
We should do Summer
What I
Wars
like
next week.
about
I forget, did Mirai have like a really brief digital world thing?
I think you've worked on the first movie.
What? Mirai, the latest one.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
I don't think it had one. Neither did Wolf Children.
All right, so your wife kind of summarized my thoughts of it, is that like it kind of like it felt all worthless, like no payoff at the end with all that stuff. It's like maybe in 10,000 years I'll see you and stuff or whatever it is. Wait, no, it was maybe it was something vague. I didn't watch it recently. That basically implied, in like thousands of years, maybe we'll see each other again.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, I mean, I did like everything up to that point, you know? I thought they had a good thing going, and they just ruined it.
I thought they did a good job establishing exactly what a person would do if they found they had this power.
Yeah, just
and they
dick
would
around.
just be ridiculous with dick around. Is a good way of putting it.
She is with that.
Yeah. Where and then she's like, and then she starts to forget. She keeps overwriting the timelines, right? And she's like, "What about your girlfriend?" It's like, "What are you talking about?" Oh shit, that was from a different timeline. You know, like go ask those girls if they want to play baseball with us. Yeah.
And she can't, for some reason, she prefers the stumble, tumble, and hit something method.
No, I don't think
She
it
leaps.
So like when leaping, because she's got to, in order to get back in time, she has to really go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't really stop that momentum in the open place.
The one part that seemed weird was she leapt and was able to get her pudding from the refrigerator. Then she went away.
Not that bad.
But
Yeah.
some
Like
reason,
her
went
first
away.
time, her first time leap. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of found it. I'm remembering this from. I might be wrong, but remembering it from seeing the movie a couple of years ago. Chiaki was like in the future. They don't have baseball anymore. Like, what the hell kind of future eliminates baseball entirely?
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, but also I just got to acknowledge. Versus Seat said, "Wait, get into arguments. This dude's crazy." Referring to the sex doll guy, the Kazakhstan guy.
Yeah.
He even lets her drive his car. Her arms expanding like Inspector Gadget. Sorry, I missed that before. Versus Seed. And apparently, I said sexnology at one point. Thank you, Reese.
I like.
You know that I didn't type that because there's an N in it.
At the beginning, I loved how everything was placed like with the setting. She goes to school. She burns up the
Right back.
the home ec room. You see the two guys going around and tossing.
Yeah. I always thought that was funny.
And when she goes away, you see like, I don't know, the kind of reminded me of like a Katamari Damacy type of place, or type of, it would fit in that kind of style at first. Let's see. What I don't recall. I didn't recall the baseball part. That could be in there, but the whole point of the movie was the person who time leapt into this past wanted to restore pain.
All right.
Yeah, I like this. So you see the auntie work on the painting at the beginning. It was like a subtle thing.
Yeah, and it shows Chiaki in the museum, but it doesn't. It like mutes out his hair color, so you don't realize that it's him.
Yeah, but it didn't seem like a very big detail until like the very last few minutes of the movie, which
Sure, that was the entire reason that he came to that time period.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
Oh, let's see. Then when she swapped, then you have the incident where she swaps with the other person from the home ec incident.
Yeah.
Someone who we didn't know that would be bullied all the time. Then.
Yeah, he got bullied because of that incident.
Oh yeah. The
So
part that
literally,
annoyed me with that was
the second I clicked to go back into the stream, my AirPods disconnected and it started echoing because Augie was talking and it went through.
Oh, hey.
Like I went to the other room and grabbed a water, and I come back and my AirPods decide not to disconnect when I'm in the other room, but as soon as I'm standing right back in front of the computer. All right. Sorry, you were saying?
So the part that annoyed me was the anti-witch replied to her that there's consequences. And next scene, you see the guy being bullied over and over again with no one really helping him. Just more of a spectacle the whole time. So his rage is not really just, but you can see how it can escalate.
Mm-hmm.
So was the girl that got her arm broke, was that
was fucked up?
is that the current girlfriend of the brown-headed guy?
I don't think
or the
so.
Afro guy? Okay.
Was it?
I couldn't tell. I just know that she got scared and leapt at some point.
Wow.
What?
There's some great articles we're going to get to talk about in the next podcast.
Okay.
World's most prolific rapist who violated 200 men convicted. And the image they have is of Joker from Persona.
Ugh. Well,
okay.
Out of all his movies, I'd recommend this one.
Yeah.
My AirPods died again, apparently.
I mean, I think
disconnected again.
You should see it.
Mind AirPods.
But I don't think I'd go as far as saying you should watch it as the greatest film of all time.
No, I'm not presenting it as that. The other movies I've seen from him, you see a little bit at the beginning of this, but he soon doesn't write in this way. Is he loves to celebrate mediocrity?
What does that mean?
Like that. What do you mean? What does that mean?
You mean
like do anything? I'm stuck.
Enjoying the small things in life.
Enjoying the small things in life, and you don't have to try to create a bigger goal than what you're doing right now. It's like, well, that's not motivating at all. Like with Summer Wars, you have the whole family. Yes, they saved their house from being.
Well,
right.
There were two nukes. They thought they had one go off in the ocean, and the other one went to their house.
Yeah.
So they said the other one was going to like a nuclear plane or something.
Guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop you for 1 second because I have to go to bed. I'm not gonna contribute to this conversation because I'm so tired I can't think straight.
Do you recommend it or not?
Yeah, I think it's worth seeing.
Okay.
I don't think it's worth spending an absurd amount of money for, but it's on Amazon Prime for like $6 or whatever.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like Prime Video, not whatever.
I remember the reason I watched this one back when I first got into anime was because of AMV Hell.
Yeah, fair enough.
I watched this one first, and then Some Wars came out, and then I watched all the Hosodas. So this was basically my first Hosoda.
Didn't you see Digimon first?
After the original Digimon movie.
Okay.
But I wasn't into anime when I watched the original Digimon.
Okay, so let me just I want you guys to feel free to talk about the movie more or just do whatever the hell as long as it's not something that's going to get the stream taken down. But I just want to acknowledge that we're going to be doing the Marduk
Scramble.
Scramble.
Yeah, we're going to be doing the Marduk Scramble trilogy for the next podcast. So they're in the description if you want to do the Amazon links. They're kind of really absurdly expensive. I feel extremely lucky that I got them when I did because I paid almost nothing for these. I think I bought them off of.
You know why they're expensive? Because they're out of print. Because if you want that specific version, they're
out of print because they're Aniplex.
Oh yeah, Aniplex.
All of them are super expensive.
Even the Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray. So I hope you guys have it. If not, there might be a way to watch it. But
it's kind of funny you say that because I bought all three of them 3 times.
Oh really?
I bought
sell them some to you.
I bought the exact ones that you have, and then I bought the DVD box set, and then when I heard that it was going out of print, I bought the Blu-ray box set.
So I learned from RHYS, and I want to acknowledge this and point it towards you guys, that this one, the first movie, this is the director's cut.
It has both versions. It has both versions.
Okay, for some bizarre reason, maybe next podcast you can walk us through exactly what's different, what scene was cut or whatever. For some bizarre reason, Sentai released this as a non-director's cut first, so that there's a cut, like a theatrical cut.
Just the theatrical cut. It was DVD only.
And then they put director's cut on the second release of the DVD, and then apparently the other 2 movies are just the director's cut without being.
I think it's because they realized that was a bad release model, so they just scrapped.
All 3 of them have both versions.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Includes both director's cut and original theatrical cut. Yeah, it says that on all of them. Well, thank you. Okay, well that's good to know. So anyway, this is what we're going to watch next. Augie, when do you go back to work?
Next week.
On Monday?
Yep.
Okay, so it won't matter when we do the podcast because you're going to be already back at work anyway.
Yeah, so hopefully I can be back in the podcast someday.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, whenever it already in just the time we've been doing this, you've already had like several,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that big of a gap next time. But I just want to say the next podcast, we were thinking Tuesday, FDDNM, that's usually when you're available, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my wife would like to join the podcast, and it just so happens that after we go see Weathering with You at the pre-screening, fan screening, whatever they called it, on Wednesday, her brother and mom are coming into town on Thursday and Friday. So if we do it on Thursday, then my wife might be able to join us, and she expressed interest in doing that. So
I would prefer Thursday because I'll probably be on the road on Tuesday. If Augie is going to be out, then you probably want the third person on.
Well, yeah. Well, I was also going to acknowledge that Augie, is this one of the Thursdays that you have Friday off?
No, this is going to be first week is 5 days. So the one after would be the Thursday.
So here's the thing. I need to acknowledge this too before I go to bed. This week, so you remember I told you guys peak season was nuts, right?
Right.
At my work. This week, I got hired part-time. Part-time is guaranteed 20 hours a month.
Ooh.
Okay? That's the minimum. That doesn't mean they're only going to give you 20 hours, but that's the minimum. They can choose to only give you 2 shifts a month if they wanted to. But this week, I was only scheduled for Saturday and Sunday as opposed to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is the shift that I'm on. But because it's because we went out of picking peak into ICQA peak and it's inventory day on this coming Saturday, I managed to talk to the manager and get ICQA shifts for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, right? So I'm doing that this whole week. This is also the last week that it really matters because I have to pay off some bills before I get like my 12 grand from my settlement stuff coming in every 6 months. So that's going to mean that next week, I don't have any idea what my schedule is going to be like. And I probably, even if I do, I probably wouldn't be able to pick up shifts. So I might start to finally have things settle back down. Okay, which is going to be good because I got a bunch of designs for Stealth Weave I want to work on. I've got a bunch of editing I want to do and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that things are going to settle back down and we're going to be able to sort of relax a little bit and get back into things being fun instead of stressful, right? So I just want to share that with you guys and help you understand where we're coming from, where we're at, and when the podcast is going to be. And just to reiterate what we talked about earlier, when I have to schedule the StreamYard stuff early on a day when I'm coming from work, just as a rule of thumb, if it's scheduled for something 30, like halfway into the hour, probably we're actually going to do it a half hour early. That's what we're aiming for.
On the hour.
Yeah, just so you guys know. Anyway, I'm gonna dip out. I thought the movie was worth seeing, but my brain is just mush, so I gotta get some sleep because I have to be up again for another shift tomorrow. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next podcast. And enjoy
Bye.
FDM, RHYS, and Augie without me. Bye.
Bye. All right. So a little bit more in the mediocrity for Wolf Children. What I didn't like was you had the sister who was rebellious and the brothers that reserved. Then when they grew up, they kind of swapped.
Mm-hmm.
When the mother moved to the countryside, it was like perfectly okay for that decision, just abrupt and out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just felt like a lot of the characters are happy that they're in their dead-end situation instead of trying to figure out how to get out of it or expand from it. It's like a different story model I'm not used to, I guess.
I mean, that's probably them making the most of their situation, considering Wolf Children's built on, like a pretty bad situation.
Right.
Which, by the way, is the only reason that, I don't really... it's preventing me from making it, a favorite. It was such a great film, but, that beginning just set the tone for the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of a hard watch, I guess.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters. Glad I did.
Oh, yeah.
But I wouldn't recommend. I'm a halfway on that one. Do you recommend that or not? But I just didn't like that movie. But we're talking about Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Her
I wonder if you'd
fun.
like Boy and the Beast.
I haven't seen it yet. I just got it.
Right.
I might like Boy and the Beast. I don't know yet.
That's a deal at the time.
Yeah. But what I liked is the girl had fun, even though she claims she's normal and is good, but she is a clumsy train wreck waiting to happen.
Her heart's in the right place, but her head isn't quite there yet.
Well, her head is correct for age, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, let's see.
I like the style of this movie. I don't know what I mean. It feels nostalgic.
Oh yeah.
Just the way everything looks, everything feels, how it's animated. That just might be again how I saw the Digimon movie. It reminds me of that aesthetic, and it brings up the joyous feel of childhood to me. But that might just be me, but I mean,
I don't disagree, but I'd have to rewatch it to know what you're talking about a bit better.
I'm glad Funimation re-released this because this was getting expensive for quite some time, and used to the Blu-ray was spin
the Bandai Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, they did have a Bandai Blu-ray, but I forgot. But they had a re-release by the time I actually started actively searching it out. So I was like, okay.
So
I originally had the Bandai limited edition, which was in the big art box that came with the soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
I sold that when Funimation re-released it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, speaking of Bandai, like I said at the beginning, we got all tracks for the Gundam that they released. Got the hard to get show, Kurokami, and the only thing I'm lacking is a volume of Energies and 2 volumes of AWOL. And I'll knock on wood, finally be done with that catalog. That's all I have to say about Girl Who Leapt Through Time. So
So
I liked it. I would say if you haven't seen a Hosoda movie, I would start with this one.
Yeah, work your way up.
Yeah.
Well, in your opinion, you'd probably say Mirai, then Girl Who Left Through Time.
I got a weird scale for this one. Like I would say Summer Wars was my favorite one. This would be my second favorite. Then Wolf Children. Then Boy and the Beast. Then Mirai. So it's like you're working your way back down. You're going up and then down and then down.
You don't like Boy and the Beast that much?
I've only seen. I mean, I don't like. I'll rewatch movies I like. I've only watched Boy and the Beast and Mirai once, and that was the first time I watched them. Obviously.
So the thing I like about Boy and the Beast is that like Hosoda kind of borrows from himself, but I think he like puts the best of all his worlds in this one. I guess you could say. Because he's got the wolf people, he's got the girl who leapt through time. No, what is it? Okay, yeah, Augie's showing it. You got the guy who leapt through. Okay, I don't even know what my point is at this point. I'm just distracted by looking at it.
Let's just put Augie on the screen for now. Keep going.
But yeah, I really liked it. My brother also like really liked it. I think it's just because I don't want to spoil it for Augie.
Yeah. Don't spoil it for Augie.
I just liked it.
He's so innocent.
Yeah, let's not ruin his innocence. Just I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it for a watch club, except I don't know when we'd have a slot open for that. Also, I don't know if Brad owns it. But then again, if he's willing to spend $90 on the girl who leapt through time's live action, the Hosoda Boy and the Beast seems pretty negligible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't always expect that he buys the live action and it's like, yep, another garbage live action. It's like, well, yeah, that's like the normal at this point.
Yeah. Have you seen the live action JoJo's?
Nope. I make it a point not to watch live actions of anime because I don't care.
It was actually okay. I am going to buy it when it comes out in February. It was actually okay.
Granted, I'm sure they can make some good ones. It's just like I like anime, man, and I don't need to see it like retold in a slightly worse way.
But I mean, considering JoJo's and Part 4 in a live act, they actually, I mean, even though it was all pretty much normal. It was actually pretty decent. I mean, all, like considering the style of JoJo's in live action.
I don't know. I'd have to see it, but
that's like the only that one in the Mushishi movie, which I know Brad hates. But yeah, that's my take on live action ones.
Yeah, well, I'll just keep investing my money into more anime.
Yeah.
So anything else?
What was that about, Augie? You pointing up? What was that about?
I think he's saying his mic doesn't work.
Right there is where I put the Seinfeld shirt, the poofy shirt. I have no idea if I've been out this whole time.
Probably.
Oh, so that's it for me.
Yeah, pretty much for me.
We got one viewer left, so whoever you are, thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, the one lucky viewer gets a private show.
Hey.
All right, well, I guess we'll be signing off. So.
Like, subscribe, ring that bell, follow our multiple multimedias, and
AC forgot to say this. Chat and anybody who wants to leave a comment. Comment something that you would like for the Watch Club. We're looking for ideas. And we'll take those ideas and add
them. The Beast, anyone?
Adventure Kid. Say Adventure Kid.
Okay. So yeah, I know Brad was, he meant to ask that, and I don't know. God, I remember.
Cat girl, Nuku Nuku. But comment what you want.
Yep. Comment with something that you'd want. Preferably something easy to get and not out of print.
Yeah,
And not
something that
Aniplex
isn't
title.
Marduk Scramble, which I feel guilt in getting our viewers to pick this up. I don't think it's
I
streaming
forgot
yet
that was-
because it's a movie series.
I forgot
So-
it was under that license.
Hmm.
I think I completed that.
Well, you basically completed Sentai last year or
Yeah.
whatever it was, so
I
you
should have that completed.
should have it. Yeah.
I know FDDNM has a Blu-ray box set like I do.
You have like a good memory of my pickups, Reese.
Because I have your collection, your Google Drive on your bookmark.
Oh, you like have it
And I
as your
go back.
wallpaper?
Oh, does FDDNM have that? It's like that's like your most recent reference.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it would be great if Brad could like take
It is-
pictures of his collection so you could actually know what he has.
Yeah.
But
Well, I do that. 470.
400-page document in the Enemy Collectors Galore group. Jesus Christ, who wants to go through 400 pages?
Me.
400 pages. Do you have like I don't know, like
400
4 shows written on each page?
I have an album. I have like 4 albums on Facebook.
You need to consolidate in a smaller collection.
I need to consolidate mine as soon as I get my alleged gifts from my brother from Christmas. I wonder if it's one of those not in stock issues, like why it hasn't arrived. Oh well.
All right, well, I guess we'll see you all on Thursday. FDM, you gonna be there?
On Thursday? Wait, what? Thursday? Oh, I was thinking like 2 days from now, Thursday.
Yeah, no. Let me see. Thursday the 16th is the current plan.
Okay, I'll try and make it, but that one will actually probably work because I'll have lower bandwidth usage.
Hmm.
All right.
Thursday about same time, so about 6 o'clock CST, Central Standard Time. So, all right. Well, we'll see you all next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.